Ladies and gentlemen, FIA Intercontinental Drifting Cup, Leg 2 Battle Tournament, here come the drivers! さあ FIA インターコンチネンタルドリフティングカップレグ2、いよいよツイストバトルトーナメントベスト16を戦うドライバーの登場です。
Alright, and we are back here at Odaiba for the FIA Intercontinental Drifting Cup. This guy is the Japanese version of what I'm doing. This is Mr. Kawasaki. Unfortunately, I haven't got as an amazing suit as he does, but never mind. My job here is to talk. And talk I will do today for the top 16, which is about to start. We have some amazing battles coming up. And like we hoped for today, a lot of drivers who didn't actually make it through TSA's competition have made it through. So it's going to be a pretty good day here today. Let's cut back to the track and watch the drivers come out in order of their battles. Let's cut back to that camera. There we go. So we have, of course, out there, making it out there today, the American drivers, Michael Esser and Matt Field. Matt having a bit of trouble yesterday and the day before with his car. Finally all sorted out here in the top 16. And of course we have there Masato Kawabata, yesterday's winner. And making it through to today's competition is the Iranian driver Shahab Hishaniadar. He had a lot of trouble with his BMW yesterday. He managed to get a rental car for this weekend for Sunday's competition out there in the S14 Sylvia. Of course, next we have Daigo Saito. Coming out next, the GTR, second place yesterday. He's going up against Chanapom Kurtpiam from Thailand in his Altezza in the first battle. Also doing amazingly yesterday, Arkady Turagratsev from Russia in the R34. He'll be going up against Joao Barrion from Brazil in his JZX100 Mark II. Our next battle will be between Hideyuki Fujino in the 180SX and Charles Ng representing Hong Kong in his 180SX. Our next battle from Thailand, Dachapon Toingcharen in his Z34. He'll be going up against Odi Bakchis this weekend, representing Lithuania via the USA. And our final battle of the top 16, also from Russia, Georgy Chivchan, otherwise known as Gotcha. In his S15 Sylvia, he'll be going up against Feng Zhenqi, representing Chinese Taipei. So this is your top 16 for today's Leg 2 tournament of the first ever FIA Intercontinental Drifting Cup being held here in Tokyo, Odaiba. If you're just joining us now, welcome. We are live all around the world on Facebook. We can see we have a lot, if you look at the chat, we have a lot of people from all over the world, especially the Russian viewers and also the people, all the people typing in Arabic. Safe to say they're all out here to support Shahab. Shahab unfortunately not making it through qualifying yesterday due to car problems. It'll be interesting to see. So we haven't seen him in battles yet. It'll be interesting to see how he manages in today's battles. Of course, I'd like to say good morning to everybody in Europe, just waking up right now to watch the competition. I know it's very early morning in Europe, but it's Sunday morning. Hopefully you had a good night out last night, and you'll be getting ready to settle in and watch the top 16 for the FIA Intercontinental Drifting Cup with us over here in Tokyo. So a big round of applause from the audience for the assembled drivers from all over the world.
Car number 12, Masashi Yokoi from Japan versus car number 9, Manuel Vacca from Italy.
Next, number 24 from United States of America, Michael Essa versus United States of America, Matt Field.
Car number 13, Masato Kawabata from Japan versus car number 7, Shahab Hishanida from Iran.
Next up, car number 10 from Japan, Daigo Saito versus from Thailand, car number 22, Chanapong KPM S.
And car number 20, Arkady Salagresev, known as Arkasha, from Russia versus car number 2, Joao Barrion from Brazil.
Next up, car number 11 from Japan, Hideyuki Fujino versus from Hong Kong, car number 6, Charles Wan.
And car number 23, De Japon Toying Challenge, Pon from Thailand versus car number 16, Odi Aoimas Bakis.
Next, car number 19 from Russia, George Chirshan Gocha versus from Chinese Taipei, car number 4, Atsu.
さあ皆様、今一度ベスト16を戦う選手に大きな拍手をお送りください。
Give it up for the drivers one more time.
それでは追走前セレモニーといたしまして、一般社団法人日本自動車連盟 JAF 会長八代隆よりご挨拶を申し上げます。お願いいたします。
JAF President Takayoshi Yashiro.
JAF の八代です。
Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Yashiro from JAF.
FIA インターコンチネンタルドラフティングカップ決勝トーナメントにあたりまして一言ご挨拶を申し上げます。
It's a pleasure to be here to greet you all in this occasion of the FIA Intercontinental Drift Cup.
本大会はその名が示します通り、アジアパシフィック圏をはじめ欧州、アメリカ、そして日本からえりすぐりの選手が参加しております。
This weekend, we're very happy to have participants from the four corners of the world, from the US, Europe, Asia, and Japan. The best of all, here together to participate.
日本で発祥となりましたドリフト競技、史上初の FIA 公認競技会が、日本で開催されましたこと、開催国モータースポーツ統括団体として大変光栄に思います。
As a representative of JF, it's my honor to host in the birth of the drift, Japan, the very first FIA official drift event.
今後ドリフト競技が国際的にますます普及し、そしてモータースポーツ振興の一翼を担うことを願っております。
Our wish is that drifting will grow as a modality all over the world and contribute for the success of motorsports internationally.
本競技会の国際化を進めていただきました FIA トット会長、そして開催に向けて尽力されました関係者の皆様、そして競技役員の皆様に改めて心から感謝を申し上げます。
So I do take this opportunity to deeply thank the president of the FIA, Mr. John Todd, as well as all the delegates and officials that have gathered here from all around the world and have highly contributed to the success of this very first event.
そして参加チームおよびドライバーの皆様の健康と健闘と、本日の大会の成功を心からお祈りいたしまして挨拶といたします。
So today, I wish much success to all of the teams, drivers, and everyone involved in this event. Guys, go for it. Thank you.
ありがとうございました。
ありがとうございました。
ありがとうございました。それでは追走前セレモニー、最後はオープニングでも素晴らしい歌声を披露してくださいましたオペラ歌手小川さとみさんです。
So opera singer Satomi Ogawa is back again to perform.
「ありがとうございました。素敵な歌声、オペラ歌手小川さとみさんでした。皆様大きな拍手をお願いいたします。
Thank you so much once again, Miss Ogawa Satomi.
そして追走バトルトーナメントを戦うドライバーたちにも今一度大きな拍手をお願いいたします。
Give it up for the drivers one more time. Good luck, everyone.
All three of the American, well, actually two of the Americans and the Lithuanian, who also lives in the United States, all making it through today. Once again, the Russians performing very well. They seem to have a very good grip on how to get a good score on this particular course. And once again, as is yesterday, the Japanese team, all of them doing very well. Number one qualifier, Masashi Yokoi. So once again, if you're just joining us right now, you've come at the right time. We are about to start the top 16 battles. Hello, my name is Alexi Smith, otherwise known as Noriyaro on YouTube. I will be your commentator for today's proceedings. We're about to start. The time here in Japan is 2:30. We are going through all the way until 5 o'clock today. So plenty of drifting action coming up. If yesterday's battles are anything to go by, we are going to see a lot of very close door-to-door driving in today's competition. Yesterday's third place battle between the two Russians was definitely one of the most exciting battles I've seen in a very, very long time. But of course, once again, we have all sorts of drivers from all around the world. Luckily, we don't have any battles where two countrymen are up against each other. Actually, no, sorry, that's a lie. Our second battle is actually Michael Esser versus Matt Field. Actually, I just remembered that. So that's a bit unfortunate. So from the top 16 onwards, at least one driver is going to get knocked out, either Michael Esser or Matt Field. Then, of course, the battle after that is yesterday's first place winner Kawabata up against Shahab Pishaniadar from Iran. The first battle of the day, which we're going to see it coming up very shortly, is Masashi Yokoi versus Manuel Vaca from Italy. After that will be Daigo Saito from Japan versus Chanapom Kurtpiam from Thailand. Second half of the top 16, Arkady Tsaragradzev from Russia versus Joao Barrion from Brazil. Next is Japan versus Hong Kong, Hideyuki Fujino versus Charles Ng. And then Thailand versus Lithuania, Dachepon Toring-Charoen, otherwise known as Pon. Making our announcing lives a lot easier there. Thank you very much for that. Versus Orimas Odi Bakshis from Lithuania. And then the final battle of the top 16, Russia versus Chinese Taipei, Georgi Chivichan, otherwise known as Gocha. Gocha, a very strong competitor yesterday and also in previous D1 Grand Prix competitions here in Japan, doing very well this weekend. Up against Feng Zhenqi from Chinese Taipei. All right, so we will be bringing out the drivers very shortly, starting with the first battle between Masashi Yokoi and Manuel Vaca. Now, if you were with us here this morning watching the qualifying, battles are a little bit different to what we saw there before. And if you were watching yesterday, there may have been a few things you may have been wondering, why did this guy win? Why did this guy get points? This guy didn't. Why didn't this guy not get penalized, etc.? Well, basically, what they want to see here today is close drifting at good proximity and similar angle. So what we really want to see is cars, when they drive with each other, not to be at this sort of angle. All right, we're going to do it so you can see it. Here we go. If two cars are at angle and the chase car is kind of following like this, that's going to get not as good points as if the car is like this. You want to get basically think about this. How close are the two rear tires to each other? That's an easy way to sort of understand how the judging system works, because remember, this is a completely computerized judging system. The only time a human gets involved with the judging here is to hand out penalties, or if there's been some sort of contact and it needs to be decided who was at fault. And remember, the lead car essentially has to do a perfect qualifying lead run. They're not allowed to drop wheels off the edge of the track, but the rear car is allowed to cut the course slightly. So if you see the chase car cut across the white lines and not get a penalty, that's why. But of course, how much can you actually cut the track? What's going to get you a penalty? Well, if the lead car is right on the white line and the chase car has to cut the white, let's just say the white line was right here. If the lead car is right here and the chase car needs to cut it slightly to get door to door, that's going to be okay. If the lead car is way over here and you're cutting the course over here to catch up, that's going to get a penalty. It's not entirely black and white, but remember, this is a judged sport. But on the upside, we have judges from Japan, from the USA here as well, to determine if there's going to be any sort of penalties handed out. So we have judges from all around the world with massive amounts of experience, hundreds and hundreds of battles judged and overseen between everybody we have here today. So rest assured, we're going to get the best result from each battle that we possibly can. All right, so as we have the course that's being prepared now, just a final look at the course from our course officials to make sure the course is clear. Just remember, drifting, it does involve a lot of spinning of the tires, a lot of rubber debris flying off the sides of the track. Just having a quick look over the road surface to make sure there's no, for example, loose bolts, nuts, bits of fiberglass, or anything like that, which could potentially be spit up into the audience or even run over by the cars as they're drifting. Because remember, if you run over even a small piece of debris when the car is already sliding, it can potentially cause the car to spin out completely. So doing a quick check of the track here. And of course, once again, we are in Tokyo, Japan here today in Odaiba. If you want to know where Odaiba is, it's pretty easy. You just open up a Google Maps, go over Tokyo, just type in Odaiba, and you'll see it's a little island just in Tokyo Bay. It's actually a man-made island, and the location we're in here today is a converted street course surrounded by, well, let's see, there's the Fuji television building just over there. There's a big shopping center over there, and right here is the Tokyo International Import-Export office, because this whole area is all surrounded by ports. And of course, right behind us right there is a train station, or a monorail station, which makes access to this area very easy indeed. There's also a very interesting shopping center way over there as well, known as Aqua City. It's a very popular place to visit on the weekend, as is this entire Odaiba area. A lot to do and see around here. If you've ever seen the giant Gundam mobile suit, the life-size sort of giant Japanese robot that was built a while ago, they've got a brand new one here they've built up. It's we can just see it peeking over the trees over there. It's an amazing place, this Odaiba. Very interesting venue. And of course, we are commenting from trackside. I do have a camera in front of me, but if I just rotate this camera around, have a look at this. That's the first corner right there. We are literally sitting right in front of the track. And there's the first corner there. I was actually hit in the face with a piece of rubber debris yesterday, which is kind of fun. That's the TV Fuji building right there. The start line is just behind there. And this is us here. So this is the Japanese stream going out on Nico Nico Doga. It's like the Japanese YouTube. And of course, there's us here going out on Facebook. So as you can hear, they're screaming over the microphone. We're about to start this competition. So as soon as we have the cars ready to go, we're going to send them out on the track. Did any of you watch the entertainment, the halftime entertainment today? We had, of course, the quad-turbo jet-powered S14 from Caroline Racing. And the drift band, I thought that was pretty cool. Okay, so there's a bit of action out on the track now. We have our first battle going out there now. It's Masashi Yokoi versus Manuel Vaca. Okay, so we're going to go out the track now. I'll see you next time. There's a bit of a break in action. Let's go out there. So Manuel Vaca in his BMW. Just a quick warm-up lap. You can see there the start line. Masashi Yokoi ahead of him. They're going to turn around, do a quick U-turn up to the start line. And we're about to begin the first battle of leg 2 of the FIA Intercontinental Drifting Cup.
はい、そして世界の強豪たちも本当に一度に返して熱い戦いが繰り広げられようとしています。さあ、そして解説にはですね、もう皆さんおなじみ熊久保さんをお迎えしております。よろしくお願いします。
よろしくお願いし
お願いし
ま。
ます
今ちょっと夢中になってですね、
はい
計算をしてました。
はい、
もう残るところですね、
はい
この後追走バトルのみになりましたんで、
はい
実は、
え
この世界一を決める
はい
総合優勝がもうかかってくるんですね、
はい
それに向けての、ポイント争いっていうのもすごく
なるほど
微妙になってきてますんで、後ほどね時間があるときにこの
わかりました
辺の、ポイントの方もお話ししたいと思います。
はい、ありがとうございます。
はい
さあ、それでは準備が整ったようです。参りましょう。バトルトーナメント
Number 12 from Japan, Masashi Yokoi versus number 9 from Italy, Manuel Vaca.
3, 2, 1, go!
We're about to begin. Here we go. First battle of the top 16. Yokoi versus Vaca. Yokoi in the lead for the first run. All right, let's watch the replay. So, two very obvious and big mistakes for Vaca. Look at him throw it in here. Throw it a bit too hard. The car slides out. He starts to straighten up and has to cut across the course to try and catch up with Yokoi. Yokoi right out there in the lead. Great lead run from him. Vaca doing his best to try and catch up and still maintaining a drift. Of course, there's no reason to drive straight here. This is a drifting competition. And then once again, just here to the left of the screen, Vaca spinning out and slowing down. Yokoi completing the course with no problem. So these are our live commentators for this weekend. In the middle there, Nobushige Kumakubo from Team Orange, a former D1 Grand Prix champion himself. Giving his professional opinion on the battle that we just saw, although the result is going to be fairly obvious. Manuel should get a big penalty for that, and there we go, a -1 penalty for cutting across the track. So that is a 7.5 to 2.5 in favor of Yokoi after the first battle. So Manuel not looking good. That's not an easy score to recover from. So Manuel's going to have to do the drive of his life here if he wants to try and win this. But of course Yokoi very, very skilled in the chase position. Manuel would have to hope that Yokoi would straighten out or lose his drift somehow. Here we go, second battle now. Vaca in the lead. Yokoi chase car with a big advantage in this battle. Wow, an amazing chase run from Yokoi. Keeping it a bit conservative at the beginning here, giving Vaca a bit of space to see what he does in the lead there. And it looked like when it got towards the end of the run, Yokoi figured out that Vaca was doing a pretty good lead run and decided to catch right up to him. So watch this here going into the bottom part of the course, sector 3. Great angle there from the lead car, Vaca. And watch this as they come around through sector 4 into sector 5 hairpin. Yokoi sees the opportunity and tucks right in right here. You can see him dive in, accelerate in, right up to Vaca's door. The result here should be fairly obvious, considering Yokoi had that 7.5 point advantage over Manuel's 2.5 knockdown from a 3.5 due to Manuel cutting the course. And of course, that was a course cut that was not required to stay parallel with the car in front, which is why he got that penalty. And there we have the result there. So 6.5. So great fight from Manuel Vaca there. Close score in the second run. But unfortunately, you add those two together, 14 to 6.5. The winner of that first battle, knocking out Manuel Vaca, Masashi Yokoi. So here comes that second battle, USA versus USA. It's a bit unfortunate for these guys. One of them is going to have to go down after this battle. It'll be car 24, Michael Esser versus car 25, Matt Field. All right, here comes USA versus USA here in Tokyo. Let's watch the replay here. Look at this lead run here from Michael Esser. Throws it in really early. leaving Matt Field behind a long way. Matt Field, you see they're pulling the handbrake, the rear tires locking up, trying to get that angle. He needs to get that same angle as Michael Esser. So right here, just a little bit further behind Esser, Matt Field. Watch Matt Field dive in here. Matt Field getting very aggressive towards the end of the track. And from here onwards, watch the chase car, watch Field after the switchback, diving in over the Sector 5 hairpin. Watch this right here. Matt setting his car up. And there he goes, diving right up against the door of the BMW. Michael Esser, but still not as good of an angle. Remember what I was talking about before? It doesn't matter how close you are. If your angle isn't equal to the car in front, it doesn't make it as good of a drift. So a good effort there from Matt Field in the back, but I get the feeling that it's going to be Michael Esser in the BMW that's going to get the better score out of that run. And there you go. Actually, it was the other way around there. Matt Field with the 8. Michael Esser in the lead with a 7.5. That just goes to show that aggressive run at the end there really paid out in favor of the chase car, Matt Field. So this time Matt in the lead. Michael Esser with a deficit in the score in the chase position. By comparing those two runs, it was really obvious who was the more aggressive driver. This time in the lead there, Matt Field. Look how early he throws in that fair lady's body into this corner, riding it around, great angle, throws it straight to angle, holds it there. Michael Esser in the background there, adjusting his car's position. Here we go, great spot here. Throws it a little bit too hard. Watch the lead car pull away right there. There you go, pulling away. Michael Esser having to straighten up again and then reinitiate. It was only a slight straighten, but it was just enough to make his drift not look quite as good as the lead car. And right here, this second half of the course, when you see the lead car, Matt Field, watch this, Matt switches back. Now it's Esser's chance here to tuck right in like Field did to him, but he doesn't do it. Watch the lead car start to pull away. Chase car Esser, not as good of an angle, losing proximity very slightly over the finish line. So the chase car in this run, already with a disadvantage, had every opportunity to make up for it. I don't think it's going to be enough. It may be, and there we go, we have an even score between these two. So 15 all from both of those runs.
ベスト16に関してはワンモータイムがないので、ランク判定といいまして、先行の時の、点数、さっきのマイクル・エッサの場合は、7.5 ですね、今、マット選手の場合は7ということで、実はここで、7.5 マイクル・エッサ、マット。
All right, so the way it works in this situation is I had to lean over and have a look at the scoring computer. So that means that it will be Michael Esser that gets the win. If you look at the way it works in this competition with this is whoever got the highest lead score, because the lead scores are essentially judged exactly the same as the qualifying runs during the battles. So even though it was an even score, whichever driver did the better lead run is the one who's going to win. And in this case, it was Michael Esser with a 97.98 lead run versus Matt Field's 97.36 lead run. So that's how it works in this competition. Whoever does the best lead run. So what that means is we sometimes see these drivers tactically do a lead run. For example, if they think they're up against an opponent who's not as good as they are, or They want to try and conserve their car slightly. They won't do an extremely aggressive lead run. This is to prevent people doing that. Here comes our next battle now. Masato Kawabata versus Shahab Bishani Adar. First battle, this time Kawabata in the lead in the first run. All right, let's take a look at the replay here. Great fast entry from the lead car, but still good entry there in the chase position. Shahab taking that inside line to try and catch up with the lead with the lead car. Kawabata, but Kawabata there, look at him put the power down, rocketing away from Shahab and into the sector 3 hairpin. Now watch the chase car, watch Shahab do his best to flick the car around to try and slow it down in time to accelerate into sector 4. But Kawabata slowly pulling away from Shahab's chase. And by the time they get over the finish line, Shahab is not any closer to the lead car. Now the score here might not be as different as you might think. Even though Shahab was a long way back, his drifting was still very good. Good angle, good speed. So it may be a fairly close result for this battle. Maybe a 1 point difference between the two, if anything. Okay, there we go. So there's the result. Lead car 7.5, Kawabata. Shahab, a 6. So not a bad result. It was the fact that Shahab was doing very good drifting in that chase position that gave him a 6. But the problem was he was more than 1.5 car widths away for the majority of the run. So no matter how good your drifting is in the chase position, if you're not close to the car in front, it doesn't really count for much. You're always going to lose at least 1.5 points.
Go!
good in the first round. He was nowhere near, and that's why there's a 1.5. That's he wasn't close. All right, here we go. Second run now. Shahab in the lead. Kawabata following. Wow, an amazing run there. Look at the chase from Kawabata. Shahab throwing in here nice and early. Good speed from the lead car, Shahab. But Kawabata sticking with Shahab the entire circuit. Look at this. Right up against the rear quarter of Shahab's car. Keeping a similar angle. Look at this right here. Same sort of angle as Shahab drives in. It's got a great late corner speed here from Shahab, but Kawabata right there with him. And for the rest of the course from Sector 3 onwards, right on the door of Shahab the entire time. Look at this Kawabata pulling back slightly, giving him a bit of space. And then flicking back again, tucking it in next to Shahab's car. Shahab goes out nice and wide, keeping his speed up, keeping his angle up, but Kawabata right there with him. Look at that. Perfect one, like about a 1 car width between the two over the finish line. Almost a textbook example of a chase run there from Kawabata, doing exactly what he needs to do to win this. Although, but still, great run from Shahab there. There was a bit of an iffy moment when he dropped the wheel off there before. So the result will probably be fairly close, but I get the feeling that Kawabata is going to win that after that amazing chase run. And there we have the final result there. Kawabata 16.5. And Shahab Pishaniada an 11 overall score between those two. So still a great fight there from Shahab. Good to see him out here today, finally making it through. He wasn't able to make it into battle yesterday due to car troubles. Coming out here today in a borrowed car, doing a great job of it too. But unfortunately, Shahab knocked out by yesterday's first place winner, Kawabata.
まだ笑顔ですね。グレッグのこれもうまくかわしましたね。はい。さあということですね。追走バトルトーナメントの方。さあ、4戦目に参りたいと思いますけども。
So once again, great job there, Shahab Pishaniada. It was the first time we've seen him in battle, but once again, unfortunately, getting knocked out by Kawabata and getting knocked out by yesterday's first place winner. It's not a bad thing. So that's the end of the day for Shahab. Kawabata will move on to the best 8. And he'll be going up against the winner of the next battle we're about to have between Daigo Saito and Shanatpom Kurtpiam from Thailand. So the potential for a Daigo Saito versus Kawabata fight in the best 8, that's going to be interesting.
距離を上げるのではなくて、X選手なので安心して飛び込めると思うので、大悟選手の左側ここから見えると思います。これは見ものですね。若いながら、結構こう年というか、そうですね。S選手は実は ロシアの D1 だったりといろんな国のコンペティションにも参加してますので、経験は豊富です。はい。
最年少ってことですね、S さんは。
そうですね。
23歳。はい。さあ、それにしても今回ね、この斉藤大吾選手の走りはちょっと見るたんびになんか、
なんかドキドキしますよね。
いや見せつけられてるような。そうですね。はい。さあ、それでは参りましょう。
Number 10 from Japan, Daigo Saito versus number 22 from Thailand.
So here comes our next battle, Daigo Saito from Japan versus Shanatpom Kurtpiam, otherwise known as S, from Thailand in his Altezza. Here we go, first run now. Daigo Saito in the lead. So already a great amount of angle there from Daigo Saito, flicking it back. S quite shallow there, just trying to catch up with Daigo Saito. Daigo in the lead there, powering away. Already his car settled down, squatting down over those back tires, the power going through them. S's car, they're sort of falling back slightly, not really settled down enough to get the power down as much as Daigo Saito. So S, they're cutting across the course. That's okay. That's not going to get him a penalty. So S keeping his angle fairly low for the entire track and still not really catching up to Daigo Saito. This is his last chance here to try and get up next to Daigo's door. Not able to do it. Daigo flicking around there, you can see, out towards the wall and over the finish line right there.
But もちろんその辺は妥協しないのが斉藤選手ですから、自分が納得のいく車でしか大会出ませんから、今回の GTR は本当に手強い車だと思います。
さあ、ポイントが出ました。まず大吾選手 8.5、そして S 選手 8.0 ということで、
前が取りましたね。ちょっとここは S 選手が追いつけなかった、そして追いついたと思うところも角度が薄かったということで、逆に取れなかったんですね。
大吾選手にアドバンテージが入りました。さあ、それでは2本目参りたいと思います。 Here we go!
Ready, go!
ここは大吾選手は距離を空けてこないと思います。
Second run now, this time S in the lead in the Altezza. Daigo Saito chasing. Daigo Saito stopping dead on the track. Was that a missed shift? Shifting down right there. Maybe the car didn't go into gear. Let's watch the replay here. So good entry from both these guys. S in the lead, great entry there. Daigo Saito's car hopping up over that little bump in the road there, front wheel lifting off the deck, right up against the door of S. Maybe a little tap there on the door. Daigo straightening slightly, flicking it back out here. This is a really good lead run from S. Now watch this right here. Watch the chase car, Daigo's GTR. Right about here, he starts to stall up and straighten out. And pulls up to a stop. So could there have been a bit of collision there between Daigo and S's car? Which is why S had to cut in across the track there, and why Daigo came to a stop. So perhaps Daigo colliding with the rear of S's car. It looked to be exactly in the position where these cars have to shift down a gear. I think Daigo Saito using third in that top half of the course. So a shift miss, losing all power. The car obviously with that anti-lag system installed. Not able to, you can hear it popping and banging for a long time.
っては逆転してしまう可能
as
性
the
があ
car
るので
slowed down and stopped.
そうですね、プッシュはやっぱり押した方が悪いですからね。
でもエース選手最後までやっぱりこう、
はい、
やめずにというか、
そうですね、
はい、
大悟選手は止まってしまったので、ただやっぱ見て感じは S 選手の、監督のようには見えますね。
So this is the time when we need the human judges to jump in and make a decision as to what happened right there.
隙があんまりなかったので、
But of course, Daigo Saito did come to a complete stop after that.
ちょっとこの位置から
Lead car S's Toyota Altezza was still moving with the usual sort of speed cars have at that part of the course.
多分どこも当たってはないと思うんですね。破片とかが落ちることもないと思うので、はい、
さあ、点数が出そうですが、はい、出ました。はい、やっぱ単独だったでしょうか。
All right, and there you have it. 15.5. Daigo Saito. Overall score. So obviously Daigo considered not the cause of that small collision there.
はい、インタビュー入ります。
はい、グレッグ。
斉藤さん、今の走りのいいポイントはど
So
こで
obviously
した
the lead car, still the Altezza, was moving, but obviously not enough according to the judges. Daigo Saito colliding with him and stopping, but the cause of that incident there determined to be S's Altezza. So Daigo Saito will be the one to move forward to the best 8.
次の走り楽しみにしてます。
ちょっと気の早い話でしたが、さあどうなるんでしょうか。
いい表情でしたね。
そうですね。まあ今言っちゃいましたけど、次はね、実は
Of course, we did have some incidents yesterday between Yokoi and Gotcha. And of course, in the final between Daigo Saito and Kawabata, where cars colliding
さあでは続いて参りたいと思いますが、
needed to have a result decided for them by the judges.
はい、そしてジョアオ・バリオン選手、ブラジルの選手
And another one just there. Daigo Saito and S.
もう後追いをやらしたらもう
追走に追走をやら
世
せたら
界一じゃないかっていうぐらい距離が近いですから。
So interesting result there. That means we're going to see a Kawabata Saito battle very early on in the best 8. Normally we see them in the finals together.
意外にね、しっかり入り込んでポイント取ってましたから、アルカンテ選手もね、あまり油断してるとやられる可能性ありますからね。
Before we see that, here comes our next battle now. We have Sadagradzev from Russia and Joao Barrion from Brazil. So Arkady Sadagradzev, yesterday's
まあ1本目アルカンテ選手
third place on the podium.
ジョアオ選手も安心して飛び込んでいいと思います。でまた逆にジョアオ選手もすごくスムーズなドリフトするんで、もうアルカーシャ選手の格好の的になっちゃうんじゃないかなって気がしますよね。
ある意味追いやすい
そうですね。
走りなのかもしれません。
では行きます。Car number 20 from Russia, Arkady Sadagradzev Arkasha versus from Brazil, car number 2, Joao Barrion.
3, 2, 1, go!
Here comes our next fight. Sadagradzev versus Barrion. Sadagradzev in the lead. The Russia versus Brazil fight.
入りすぎですね。はい。
Wow, Barrion getting very, very aggressive around that final quarter. Vai Barrion, that was some good driving from him there. Got the lead run here. Sadagradzev, great lead run, coming around the main corner, leaving Barrion behind. That's, I think the most interesting part of this battle was right at the end, around the final hairpin sector 5. So it's looking pretty good up until about here. Barrion slowly catching up. Watch this right here. Watch Barrion get a little bit intimate with Sadagradtsev's skyline. Bit of contact there, bit of a push. getting very aggressive. But the problem is Barion's angle not as good as Sadagratsev. Barion falling behind there.
アルカ選手がすると突然白い車が出てこないから
Sadagratsev not really too worried about that contact, continuing on his drift.
アスタローズ
So maybe trying to Sadagratsev trying to work out a bit of aggression there, trying to stay cool.
アスタロージナは危ないという、ね、
危ないです
ロシア語なんですけども、はい、いやー本当に世界各国からね、エリス組のドライバーたちがこう、まあ、世界初
Of course, it doesn't make sense at this point in the game for Sadagratsev to be overly aggressive. He is definitely the favorite in this fight.
目がマジですね、当たり前ですけどね。
もちろんですね、スイッチ完全に入ってますので、今ので多分テンションも上がってますから、
So Barion, obviously the underdog in this fight,
選手が、後ろを
needs to do, but he needs to do what he needs to do in order to win this battle.
逆アスタロージナをやってくると思いますね。はい。
さあ、出ました。アルカーシ選手がですね、8.0、そしてバリオン選手がやっぱり減点入りましたね。
そうですね、プッシングが入りますんで、
And then we have there, that would have been, that's a bit of a shame, that would have been an even score there. But unfortunately, Barion, minus 1.5.
無理しなくていいと思います。
はい。
ただ、無理しないようなドライバーじゃないと思いますので、見せに来ると思いますんで、はい。そうです
So that's a penalty being applied there, I think, for Barion cutting the course and then making contact. If he'd have cut the course and stayed clean, it wouldn't have been a penalty. So of course chase cars can cut the course, but not if they're using it in order to crash into the car in front. All right, chase run this time for Sadagratsev. Joao in the lead. So very clean chase run there for Sadagratsev. Even score in the first round. Look at this. Sadagratsev throwing it in really late compared to the lead car. One of the best runs we've seen from Joao all day. Joao in the white Mark II in the lead there. Being chased down by the very evil-looking red headlights of Sadagatsev's Skyline. But Sadagratsev doing exactly what he needs to do. Look at this, same angle as Joao. Just keeping it about 1.5 car widths away. That's exactly what he needs to do to win this competition. Like I said before, there's no reason for Sadagratsev to get overly aggressive. And there you have it, 14-2. So Arcade, even without the penalty being applied to Joao, he would have won that battle. So great result there. Arkady Sadagratsev from Russia getting the win, moving on to the best 8.
I see him near my door, near my wheel. I see the wall. I don't know what to do. どうすればいいかわからんけどとりあえず勝っちゃった。ありがとう。Good luck on the next run.
さっきのやっぱ先行の時にもう両方挟まれましたから、もうアスタロージャになったんですよ。
やっぱちょっと怖かったというふうにおっしゃってましたけどね。
壁も近かったし。そうですね。
さあ続いてはいよいよですね、日本の藤野選手が登場いたします。はい、対するは、香港のねチャールズ選手。
もう好勝負になりますよ。なぜかと言いますと。
So once again, very good drifting there. Great drifting from Joao Barion. The best he's been all weekend, slowly getting better and better all weekend. But unfortunately, Joao getting knocked out by the Russian Sadagratsev. We'll see him in the best 8 up against the winner of this next battle. Hideyuki Fujino from Japan versus Charles Ng from Hong Kong.
これはね、いい勝負が見られると思います。両方ね、多分ガチできますので。
さあスピードはかなりあります、チャールズ選手。
なのでもエンジンのさ、ギア機のさ、そういうのも一切ありません。まるっきり一緒です。テクニックだけの勝負になりますので、これは面白いですよ。
さあそれでは参りましょう。Let's get it on!
Car number 11 from Japan, Hideyuki Fujino versus from Hong Kong, car number 6, Charles Wang.
Here comes the next battle now. Japan versus Hong Kong. Fujino in the lead. Charles Ng. Chase. Very aggressive entry there from Charles Ng. Well, look at this, Charles Ng bringing the heat on the entry. Look at that aggressive dive in, silhouetting the lead car, Fujino's 180SX, but Fujino already set his car up very well. Look at this, pulling away. He's already got the power down, leaving Charles Ng a bit flat-footed behind him, pulling away around the long sweeper and in the approach into Sector 3 hairpin. But still good angle from Charles Ng in the chase position, just that proximity lacking a bit. It's going to get him lose him about half a point. And right here too, look at the angle there. Charles Ng straight lining a bit to try and catch back up. And his angle there, look, compare the angle of both the cars. Lead car Fujino at full angle already, and Charles Ng not even there yet. And finally Charles Ng matching the angle of the car in front and over the finish line. So still great run from Charles Ng in the chase, but overall Fujino just very consistent in the lead position.
かなりね、風も出てきました。はい、国旗がなびいております。さあ、それでは、どうなんでしょうかね。はい。出るかと思いきや、もう少しかな。はい、もう少し。あ、出ました。はい。これでもチャールズ選手取りましたね。はい。
But look at this once again. Look at this. Oh wait, okay. Next, we have the next. Is this the next run? All right, we're already into the second battle between these two. Door to absolute door. Another great run between these two. These two seem to be very evenly matched. Both of them using fairly similar tactics to get the job done. But Fujino right here, compare that to the first run. Fujino right there with Charles Ng. It's sort of hard to tell from this angle whether the chase car Fujino had the same sort of angle as the lead car. Maybe a little bit of contact there halfway through the corner. But Charles winding on the angle there, Fujino right there with him. So lead car Charles Ng with a 0.5 advantage going into this battle. But that lead run, so that chase run there from Fujino, literally stuck on the door of the lead car Charles Ng for the entirety of the main corner.
Here we go. Fujino-san, きれった走り方。結構いい感じですよね。どういう気分？
気持ちよかったです。はい、次も頑張ります。
先方のコメントでかっこいいんですね。ありがとうございました。
はい、ありがとうございます。ちょっとね、電波状況がね、カメラの電波状況がちょっと、
まあでもね、今藤田気持ちよかったってね、
はい、そうですね。
もうドライバーとすれば気持ちよかったのが一番嬉しいですね。でもこの気持ちよくできたのは。
So if only the first battle looked like the second, it would have been a victory for Charles Ng.
なので安心して入れるんです。
Fujino there with a 9.5 in the chase. That's a hard score to get.
チャールズのおかげでもあるんです。
さあ、続いての対戦で4時間のそして音が違う。はい、V8 ですね。オーディがね、入ってまいりました。はい。
だからね、今日ポンちゃんはやっぱり今日ね、3位ですから、はい、98.96っていう高得点を出して、3位ですから、ちょっとね、オディ選手14位とちょっと出遅れてますんで、その辺がね、どう出るか。もちろんただオディ選 そうですね。
追いやすいということですね。さあ、それでは参りましょう。Let's get it on!
So that previous battle there, winner Fujino knocking out Charles Ung, going up against the winner of this next battle here. We have Pon from Thailand and Odi Bakshis representing Lithuania today via the USA.
1, go!
Ready comes the first run. This time, Pon in the lead, Odi in the chase. Wow, one of the best battles we've seen so far today in the top 16. Look at this amazing entry there. That's an interesting run for Odi Bakshis in the chase position. Could that potentially be a penalty there? Going a bit too shallow, Odi, just maybe only one wheel off. It should be okay. Seems to be a good day for Pon compared to his previous efforts in other competitions. Here in Japan, look at this, but Odi right up there with him. And watch this, from this point onwards, Odi stuck right on his door. Watch them flick back. Odi's going to step back on the back foot and spring forward right here. Quick stab of the brakes so you can see the front wheel lock up as Odi jams a Batman hook into the door of the lead car and holds on over the finish line. So let's see, could that potentially be a deduction there for the chase car Odi? So Pon's cars yesterday also, same sort of issue with the cooling. And there you go, no penalty for Odi there. A 7.5 for that run over Pon's 7. So Odi Bakshis with the advantage going into this next run in the lead position. That's great for him. So like I said before, we have had times where cars have cut and been given penalties, but you might remember that was usually when they cut and end up colliding with the car in front. Whereas in that case, Odi was using the course cut in order to keep up with the lead car and ended up getting the same sort of line, same sort of angle after he cut the course. So for that reason, no penalty.
Ready, go!
All right, time for the second battle between Odi and Pon. So Odi in the lead with a 0.5 advantage. So watch this replay. Very even run between these two, but look at this Pon right there. Perfectly shadowing the lead car Odie and then just letting Odie go ahead as Pon keeps up with him down this straight section of the course. Odie throws it in here, but Pon also big angle tucking it in slightly towards the front. This is an amazing chase run by Pon. But still Odie, still great lead run from him. 0.5 advantage to Odie in the lead. So has Pon done better than Odie in his chase run? If it's an even run, it's going to go down to whoever did the best lead run according to the EDS system. And it's come down to a rank judge at 15.5 for both of them. So that means that whoever got the best lead run, according to the DOS system, apparently I was about to call out the winner. I'm not allowed to yet.
Congratulations, Odie. Okay, here comes the interview. I noticed you changed your style up. You're looking really good.
So we do have a winner.
I felt good. You know, you're definitely right. We made some changes to the car. This car is designed for a faster track. This is a tight course, but I got a great crew. You know, we evaluate what we got to do, and it's working a lot better. I just really want to put on a good show for everyone. You know, our performance helped me get this car out here. I want to make them proud, and this is a lot of fun. A learning curve and a lot of fun.
設定書いて、それで思いっきり走るようになって、速いコースのために作ったけど、ちょっとスロートラックに合わせて作り直して買っちゃったからよろしく。
いやー、だいぶ走ったね。まあでもね、やっぱり優秀なチームがね、この早くよりね、
そうですね、車を合わせ込むっていうのはね、
作られた車をこのコースのために、チームがね、優秀なチームが手を加えたということで、そしてみんなをエンターテインしたいからさあ、続いてベスト16最後の走り。
So as you can see there, sorry about that delay, the winner of that, Odie Bakshis. He had the better lead run, a 98.2 for his lead run according to the solo run judging system, compared to Pon's 97.34. So Odie Bakshis come down to an even score, but like I said before, whoever gets the best lead run is the one who wins the battle. So Odie Bakshis just barely edging out Pon. So for all the Americans watching, you can take that as the W for you guys, even though Odie is out here this weekend representing Lithuania, being a Lithuanian citizen. But, and despite the fact he's driving a Korean Hyundai, the heart of that car is a highly modified LS7 base V8.
またこれね、ダッシュする場所が違うんですよね。パワー的にはゴーチャ選手、ごめんなさい、アーツ選手の方が、パワーはありますけども、ゴーチャ選手の方が軽快に動くので、この辺の違いがありますよね。
さあ、それでは参りましょう。Here we go.
Car number 19 from Russia, George Chiushan Gocha versus from Taiwan, car number 4.
Right, here comes our next battle. The Russians bringing the heat this weekend. Gocha versus Feng Zhenqi. Here comes the first battle with Gocha in the lead. Let's watch the replay here. Gocha in the lead. Gotcha's car, one of the most maneuverable here this weekend, it seems. He really knows how to place that car well on the track. But Feng Jianqi's car also very powerful, has a lot of grip. He's able to stay there with Gotcha for most of the track. What's the transition back here? Feng cutting across the line there to try and keep up with Gotcha, but Gotcha already running away from him with big angle, hard on the accelerator. This is probably going to be, there's a good run from both of them actually, and there's the result there, a 9-all even score between the two. So Feng Jianqi keeping a great proximity throughout the entire course. We normally see people being run away from and then pull, like reel in the car in front. Feng really doing a good job keeping Gotcha within arm's length for the entire track. So Gotcha in a chase position this time in the NGK S15 Silvia. He's going to need to use the maneuverability and lightweightness of his S15 Silvia to try and keep up with the car in front. So that run getting a big round of applause from the audience here at Odaiba. Look at that entry from Gotcha right on the rear bumper of Feng's car there, sticking right with him around the entire course. Now it's interesting to see, watch them come around here down towards Sector 3. Now Feng in the lead position, the S15, makes a big mistake, kind of understeers as he exits this corner. Watch them throw it in here. Both of them very, very late on the brakes, throw the car around sideways to slow down. And watch this right here, watch the lead car, Feng. Bit of an understeer there, but recovers very well. And the winner of that battle, car number 19, the yellow S15 Silvia, Gotcha from Russia, will be moving on to the best 8. So the Russians, both Russians through again.
Okay, congratulations, George. You did a great run. What was your plan?
My plan go top 8, and Atsu very good driver. I'm yesterday driving with him top 16, and today also we keep battle top 16, and happy to driving. I'm happy already top 8.
どうしてもタップ8が残れたかったと、彼と昨日一緒に走ったんで、2日連続一緒に走ってとても良かったでした。
はい、alright, congratulations。
さすがですよね。
アーツはでも本当にいいドライバーだからね。
そうですね。はい、
叩いてましたね。
してますんでね。はい。
さあということでですね、以上ベスト16、終了いたしましたツイストトーナメントバトルトーナメント。
So that big understeer there from Feng, the bottom of the course, Sector 3, we quite often see that happen. Losing him that fight. Alright, so we just have to quick clear of the track after the top 16 has ended. So making sure the track is clear, we have to make sure that there's no debris on the track. Of course, there's a lot of rubber and other sort of garbage getting thrown off these cars. Our hard-working pit crew out here again this weekend, making sure the track is clear and safe and that there's no oil spots or places where the cars can slip.
世界唯一のジャックナイフパフォーマンスをするパフォーマーですから、
前輪まで浮いてしまってますからね。
はい、
さあそれではここでベスト8のラインナップをご紹介させていただきたいと思います。まずは No.12 Masashi Yokoi from Japan versus No.24 Michael Essa from the United States of America, and No.13 Masato Kawabata versus No.10 Daigo Saito, both from Japan.
ちょっと早くないですか、ここの戦い、ベスト8で。
昨日のもう本当決勝戦ぐらいの、決勝戦ですね、のカードですけども、そして、続きまして No.20 Arkasha from Russia versus from Japan Mr. Fujino No.11。
ここもね、アルカーシャがどこまで、藤野選手をやっつけるか、
安定の藤野さんを、どこまで
藤野選手は強いですからね。
さあそして最後のカードは No.16 Odi Aoimas Fakiz versus car No.19 Gocha Georgie Chivashan。
オディね、セッティングを変えて急に乗れてきましたんで、そこに対して安定しているゴーチャがどこまで、オディに近づけるか楽しみですよね。
それでは参りたいと思います。水槽トーナメントバトルトーナメントベスト8 Ladies and gentlemen, FIA Intercontinental Drifting Cup Battle Tournament Best 8。
はい、ウォーミングアップ入りました。エッサ選手もハンドルをフロントのね、フロントのハンドルを目いっぱい切ってフロントタイヤも温めてますね。
やはりこのフロントの温め方がまた、
そうですね、これ特徴ですね。ハンドルを切りすぎるまで切って、フロントタイヤを滑らせて温めるという、ことをやってますよね。
さあだいぶね昼間に比べて、気温の方も涼しくなってきましたけども、こうなるとタイヤの圧とかも
そうですね、
調整が必要になってくるんですね。
多分走るにはこのぐらいの気温が一番いいと思います。で路面温度の方もちょっと下がってきてますので、グリップも上がってくると思いますよね。
結構単走の時はものすごく気温が高かったこともあって、割と皆さんセクターの5あたりでね、
そうですね、ちょっとスピン、
セクター5ぐらいですね。さあそれでは参りたいと思います。 Here we go!
Car number 12 from Japan, Masashi Yokoi versus United States of America, car number 24, Michael Essa!
3, 2, 1, go!
さあここは横井選手は逃げに入り
Right,
ます。
straight into the best 8 here. Yokoi versus Essa.
接触しましたよ。接触しても横井選手は何事もないように行きましたよ。
そしてエッサ選手も気遅れせずに、
横井選手の横をね。
Whoa, one of the most aggressive fights we've seen all weekend.
すごい。
やっぱね、横井選手っていうのは
So Essa initiating very late
す
there.
ごい接触が多いドラ
He
イバー。
knows he hasn't got the speed of Yokoi's car on this layout.
接触されてもスピンをしない。
Doing what he can. Oh, a bit of collision there with Yokoi's door.
あれでね、
Sending Yokoi around a bit.
当てた方が悪いんです
And
けど
right here again, look at this. Look at Essa. Dive right in at the last second. Pulling his punch right at the last millimeter. This is a fantastic chase run from Essa.
接触受けててもスピンをしないんですよね。それだけね、
Watch the switch back here once again, Essa. Right there with Yokoi. Essa doing an amazing job all weekend so far. And this battle against Yokoi.
角度もね合わせてましたから、本当に得点としては取ってると思うんですね。ただやっぱりあの辺の接触がジャッジからはマイナスされると思いますので。
なるほど。単走のポイントではですね、もう横井選手の方がかなり高いというかですね、99.34が。
Michael Essa out there pulling the gloves off. It's a bare knuckle fight there. Getting physical with the lead car. Yokoi. But Yokoi not really seemingly worried by that.
そうですね。ただね。
With that collision, there should be some sort of penalty being applied to Michael Essa, and there it is. Yes, so
横井選手8.0、そしてマイクが
a penalty applied to Michael Esser.
でも 8.5
Minus 0.5. That's going to be for those
マイ
collisions.
ケル・エッサ選手が、これアドバンテージを取りました。
これ面白いですよ。いいですか、
はい。
本来だったらマイケル選手の方がもっとアドバンテージを取られて
But Michael Esser still with an 8.5 advantage over Yokoi. It's going to make things interesting now. What sort of tactics Yokoi is going to make for this upcoming battle.
逆に取られてんのかよと。分かったよと。俺は言ってやろうじゃねえかよと。
この男気がね、こう点数的にはちょっと今裏目に出ている。
いやいやいや、これをね、分かるだろうなと。俺は2を取りに行くぞと。
そういうことですね。
お前も当たっても回るなよと。はい、いろいろプレッシャーをかけてると思いますよ。はい。
さあそれではですね、そんな運命の2本目、行ってまいりたいと思います。Let's get it on!
Ready, go!
Ready comes the second run now. Michael Esser in the lead this time. Yokoi in the chase. Esser with a 0.5 advantage. You'd think that would have been a display run if you didn't know any better. This is a perfectly clean chase run from Yokoi. Look at that. Yokoi. But Esser pulling ahead there. Esser doing a great job. Watch Esser's front wheel here. Just a bit of a tap of the brakes to keep the rear of the car coming around. Keep it online. And diving into this, I would not be surprised if this went either way this battle. Fantastic lead run from Esser there, but perfectly clean chase run from Yokoi. This is the sort of thing Yokoi is known for. A bit shallow there from Yokoi as well, coming around the final hairpin. Yokoi not yet wound all the lock on. There you go, finally around to the same angle as Esser. This battle could go either way. That little collision from the first run may have been enough to take the win away from Esser. And there you go, that's exactly what happened. That collision. Michael Esser losing that battle by 0.5 to Yokoi. Just barely missing out. So Yokoi keeping that run clean in the chase, staying with Esser almost perfectly the entire way around the track. 17 to 16.5, giving Yokoi the win. He'll be moving on to the semi-final.
見てみたい、楽しみしてます。
はい。
ありがとうございました。
ありがとう。
まあやっぱり予想通り後半ついていけなかったみたいですね。
なるほど。
でもやっぱりね当てられても回らない、はい男らしさと、はい勝負しようぜと。
そこはやっぱり
横井選手のねかっこいいところですよね。はい。
次はねもう
さあ来ちゃいましたね。いやもう昨日のねレギュラーの水槽の決勝の戦いです。これはね、川端選手と斉藤大吾選手のドライバー同士の戦いもあるんですけども、やはり同じ GTR、としての戦い、そして、車をメンテナンスしている、トラストレーシングチームと、大吾選手の車のエンジンを、チューニングしている HKS と、この2大チューニングメーカーでの対決でもあるんですね、でプラスそこに車が一緒ですから、東洋タイヤとワンリタイヤの戦いと、もういろんなものの最高峰の戦いが詰まってるので、もうこれ2人ともね、バチバチですよ。
背負ってますね。
でまたねここで勝つか負けるかによって総合チャンピオン争い、総合優勝争いにも大きく影響するので。
昨日は川端選手に軍配がありましたけども、出だしで接触もありましたね、まさかのね、結構派手な接触もありました。さあ果たして今日はどちらが駒をね準決勝に進めるのか、
ドキドキです。
川端選手そして斉藤大吾選手の戦いとなります。
Car number 13 from Japan, Masato Kawabata versus from Japan, car number 10, Daigo Saito.
3, 2, 1, go!
We thought that we'd be nice and save this and not save this battle for the final. Kawabata versus Daigo Saito in the best 8. Now this is going to be an interesting result here. So Daigo Saito cutting that first corner, that is permitted for the chase car. If he's doing it in order to catch up and keep angle, which is what he did there and what he's doing right now. Which can both initiate at the same time. Great initiation from both these guys into that bottom hairpin corner. But this is interesting right here. Watch the lead car. Watch Kawabata throw it around. It's hard to see in the smoke, but he throws it a bit too hard there. Now, leaving Daigo Saito behind. Now, Daigo would have had to slam on the brakes to avoid smashing into the rear of Kawabata's car. But Kawabata not really doing anything too odd in the lead position there. Get the feeling Daigo may have just been a bit too aggressive, a bit too close, not giving Kawabata enough space in order to transition back into Sector 5. He might have just anticipated that Kawabata was going to transition a lot later than he did, and he got caught a bit too close to Kawabata, had to hit the brakes to avoid hitting, meaning he transitioned a lot later than he would have had to, and lost a whole lot of ground on Kawabata over the finish line. And so there we go, a 9 in favor of Kawabata over Daigo Saito, 8.5. So obviously Daigo with Kawabata for the entirety of the track, except for that last section, knocking off a 0.5 from his score.
Ready, go!
When it comes to the second run this time, Daigo Saito in the lead. And once again, Daigo Saito's car popping and banging with that anti-lag system. Maybe once again, transmission problems. Daigo Saito rolling back to the pits. So right about here, Kawabata doing a good job not to collide with the rear of Daigo's car. Like we saw yesterday. We saw that exact same thing happen yesterday. Daigo Saito being smashed into from behind by Kawabata being overly aggressive, but this time Kawabata caught it in time, backed off, Daigo pulling off the side of the track, Kawabata completing his run.
Alright. 今回はミッションかデフかどっちが分からんけど、ドライブトレインが壊れかけで、これもしかしてリタイアになるかもしれない。
So it looks like Daigo Saito will be retiring with transmission problems. We did see that before. He had a bit of trouble down in the Sector 3 hairpin. His car seeming to not go into gear. And once again there, losing all drive, coasting around the track, and a 0 there for Daigo Saito. So Kawabata once again getting the better of Daigo Saito like he did yesterday. 13 to 8.5. Masato Kawabata moving on to the semi-final. He'll be going up against Yokoi.
やっぱ引退のことになりましたんで、
リタイアリタイア、
川端さん、素晴らしいの走り方、いつもかっこよく走るから、ちょっと一つコメントもらってもいいですか？
せっかくのね GTR 対戦だったんで、ちょっといい対戦を見せたかったんですけど、まあトラブルなんでしょうがないんで、はい、気持ち切り替えて決勝戦まで行きたいと思います。
はい、
ありがとうございました。
ありがとうございます。
ちょっとなんかね、不完全燃焼の
そうですね。
気合はかなり入れてたと思うので、その気合が、まあ、どこに、こうなんかどこに持ってったらいいかなみたいな、まあこれはね、ここで集中切らさないでね、
準決勝に
やっぱり
持ってきてほしいですね。
来てほしいですよね。
はい、さあ続いてはですね、ロシアのアルカーシャ、そして、日本の藤野選手の戦いとなります。さあこの2人の対決はいかがでしょうかね。
そうですね、アルカシャ選手はもうここ、昨日から乗れてますから、で藤野選手は、先ほどのチャールズ選手との追走を見ても分かるように、かなり復活してきてます、はい、ちょっと今回ね、昨日からいまいちこう乗り切れてなかったんですけど、それも全部吹っ切れてますんで、これはね、お互いいい勝負になると思います。
アルカーシャ選手、でも藤野選手ね、調子良さげですね、これはね。さあというわけでベスト8進めてまいりたいと思います。Ladies and gentlemen, FIA Intercontinental Drifting Cup Battle Tournament Best 8. Here we go.
ここはお互いね、第2セクターなんかは角度を持っているドライバーなので、本当に、第2セクターはビッタビタが見れると、はい、思います。はい。
All right, we're about to start our next battle now. Our final battle of the best 8. We have Uri Bakshis. I'm sorry. Our second last battle, we have Arkady Tsargradzev versus Hideyuki Fujino. Now Tsargradzev coming third yesterday, representing Russia. And of course, we have Hideyuki Fujino. Now both of these guys, actually very similar styles. We were talking about this yesterday. Arkady says he thinks his style is very close to some of these Japanese guys, very smooth, consistent, and just the right amount of aggression to get the job done. And we saw him drive like that yesterday, ending up in third place on the podium behind Saito and Kawabata. So hopefully we've got lots of people watching from Russia for Arkasha.
アルカーシャのね、この赤いヘッドライトがね、いつも怪しくちょうど第3セクターにこう入ってくるあたりでいつもこの放送席の方向いてる感じなんですけど、
目がキラーンとね、赤が
ちょっとこれまっすぐ進ませて、多分チェックですね。多分これでもうチェックができていると思いますので。
Okay, so just some final final applications of tape to Arkasha's car.
Let's get it on.
Right, here comes our second last battle of the best 8. Arkady Tsargradzev versus Hideyuki Fujino.
Car number 11, Hideyuki Fujino.
3, 2, 1, go!
All right, let's watch the replay for this battle. I think this is going to be a very highly scored battle for both of these competitors. Arkasha in the in the background there, right out against the wall. Great line from him, but the chase car there, Fujino silhouetting him around the top of the course, just sticking there right with him. Might have been a little bit of a rub there with the tire on the door.
いい状態で、アルカンシャ選手についてってますので、
Sadagratsev flicking out the rear of his Skyline, but Fujino right there with him does a little bit of a cut across the inside of the course to stay parallel with the lead car.
まあやっぱりこう持ち味を出してきたところですかね。
そうですね。
This is actually going to be a pretty good score for Fujino, and there it is, a 9 in favor over a 7.5 for Sadagratsev. And you could see it with your own eyes as well. Fujino, he was with Sadagratsev for the entire run. He never backed off and never got too close. One of the best examples of a safe chase we've seen all day so far, despite the fact the lead car was driving so well. It's been a hard fight for Sadagratsev so far. He's had a lot of big competitors to best. This is his biggest battle to date. Another amazing run between these two. Let's watch the replay. Look at that entry from Sadagratsev. A lot of guts diving in like that, flicking around, a lot of trust in the lead car. But this may be the end of the day for the chase car, Sadagratsev from Russia. Looking really good here. I think all the photographers out here this weekend have had so many opportunities for so many amazing photos. On average, so much close drifting, but from here on, watch this. From right about here until the end of the track, Sadagratsev in the chase position, slowly being pulled away from. Watch this, he's nowhere to be seen yet. All the way back there. Remember, the first one was 9 to Fujino in the lead. Arcady with a 7.5. It's going to be at least need to be the opposite of that for Arakashi to have a chance to win. I don't think it's going to happen. I get the feeling that Fujino is going to make his way through to the semi-final, but we never know. We're going to wait and see what the EDS has to say about that. I don't think there's going to be any sort of penalties applied to that run either. Wait and see what the result is.
かなりジャッジの方も距離感と角度とっていう部分で、点数が割れてるというかね、どこで何点つける、あ、出ましたね。
And there you have it. Amazing run for Arcady. Unbelievable. 17 to 16.5. The Russian besting one of the hardest competitors here this weekend, Fujino.
All right, here comes the interview. Arcady, you just beat a legend. How do you feel now?
I beat the legend.
Arcady, one of the hardest charging guys here this weekend. Amazing performance from the Russian.
With Mr. Fujino, it was my dream. It's the most technical driver of the world.
You could really see in those two runs, Fujino, he was just being kind of safe in his chase, but Arcady, very aggressive. Falling behind slightly at the end, but still within distance. Close enough to the lead car, Fujino, for the EDS to give him that score. I get the feeling that was very lucky of Sadagratsev. He only just barely got that result, I'd say. But that means we have one Russian through to the final, to the semi-final. Arkady Sadagratsev in the R34 Skyline will be going through to the semi-final.
そうですね、リトアニア、から唯一の参加となってます。オーディが、これもね、どうなるんでしょうかね。
ゴーチャさんもね、本当に勢いのある走りをね。
そうですね。今回実はアルカーシャ、ゴーチャとともにロシア人選手がすごく活躍してますよね。実はこのスタートからのこの1セク、2セク、3セクに近い、このレイアウトがですね、ロシアの D1 でつい最近行われた、プリムリンクのコースがあるんですけど、実はこのレイアウトとほぼ一緒なんですね。プリムリンクの方はもうちょっとストレートが長くて車速が乗るんですけども、 はいはい
リトアニアのこのドリフト事情っていうのはいかが
はい
ですか？
実は、オーディ選手は、ね、リトアニア出身でアメリカで走ってるんですけども、
はい
実はリトアニアっていう国は、リトアニア、エストニア、
はい
ラトビア、バルト三国ですね、
バルト三国ですね
サーモンが美味しいところなんですけども、ここ実はですねリトアニアっていう国はラリーがすごく盛んで、このオディ選手も実はリトアニアでラリーの経験があるって聞いてます。ということで車を横を向けるねモータースポーツが、とにかく盛んな国なんですよ。でプラスやっぱラリーが盛んなだけに車のパーツの開発もすごく進んでまして、その辺のプロフェッショナルなね、ビルダーが多いので、リトアニアっていうのはすごくドリフトに関しては最先端の、パーツを、開発し、それを開発できるドライバーが揃ってる、すごくドリフトとしてはね、最先端な国じゃないかなと思ってます。
いやなかなかねこう我々日本にいますとね、こうリトアニア、バルト三国教科書には出てきますけども、馴染みがもう一つという感じなんですけど、
そうですね。
そういう必要もあるんですね。さあそんな、
危ない。
おっといきなり
ちょっと
今まさかオーディが何が起きた？
Okay, we have a big incident here on the warm-up run. Odi Bakchis colliding with the wall on the warm-up.
戻ってしまって逆向いちゃったんですよね。
まさかのハプニングが今。
Unfortunately, I wasn't actually watching that. I jumped down from my post for a second.
ちょっとね予想外の動きをしましたよね。
Arcady, sorry, Odi.
はい。ドライバーは怪我はないと思うんですけども。
いやこれはちょっとあっけに取られてしまいます。
そうですね。多分オディ選手自体がそんなことになるとは思わないような、もちろんねウォーミングアップですから、5割6割の力で更新してきますからね。
さあこんなことがこのタイミングでこの場で
大丈夫だと、体が大丈夫ってアピールしてますね。
大丈夫です。
We see the damage on Odi's car. That is a huge incident here. The warm-up run in the best 8.
これの状態だとちょっと難しい。
車もちょっと難しい。オイルもね、フロント周りにオイルクーラーついてますんで、ちょっとそれを
That is not the way that Odi Bakchis would want to end this event. Getting all the way through, going up against yesterday's 4th place Gocha in this battle.
オーディの今のね心境をインタビューしてみ
Now
たいと思いますけど
something
も。
odd happened there.
Okay, Odi, how do you feel
Could
right
it
now?
potentially be
What
a
happened?
broken tie rod?
Can you share with us what happened?
Okay, I'm still trying to find out exactly what happened. I'll get back with you in about 20 seconds.
The conditions are getting grippier out here, and my crew did such a good job of making the car faster. It understeered, and it understeered a lot more than I'm ever used to it.
Right.
I honestly thought it would be okay. The front just got really loose. It might be a mechanical failure. As of now, I think it just understeered.
Okay.
And I was not able to save it. And I'm just glad Gocha didn't get his car creamed into the back of mine. And I hope he goes on and does really well.
Alright. ね、本当にね今回メカニカルチームがすごくこのドリフト用ではなかった車をね。
Alright, so you heard it there. If you couldn't hear it through the trackside mic, Odi saying that he was trying to get his team to dial in more grip into the car. But unfortunately, he said the surface of the track a lot grippier than how it used to be. Obviously, a lot more rubber being laid down around that line. The rear of the car gripping up unexpectedly and crashing into the wall.
ちょっと残念ですね。
So there's a massive disappointment there for Odi Bakchis, bringing that car all the way over from the United States.
ね、ここでちょっとやっぱり前半ベスト4に残ってきたのが横井選手、川端選手、そしてアルカーシャ選手だったので、ここでね、オディとゴーチャ戦ってもらってね、もしオディが上がると昨日とは違った戦いが見えたんですけどね。
そうですね。
でもちろんねここでゴーちゃんが勝ち上がりまして、また
All right, so if you couldn't quite hear it on the roadside mic, what happened there was Odie said that he's been trying to get his team to get more grip, to dial in more grip into that car. Obviously feeling that he doesn't have the kind of forward drive that a lot of the other guys do here this weekend. And coming around there, he obviously hasn't been around the track since earlier today when he was up against Pon, and saying that the car just suddenly gripped up. I mean, it kind of looked like that maybe a tie rod had snapped all of a sudden. But no, according to Odie, just plain old rubber on the track, gripping up and smacking into the wall. So that's a big disappointment for Odie Bakshis. He would have been going up against Gotcha from Russia in that battle. So that obviously means that Gotcha is going to move on to the semi-final and go up against Arkady Tsargratsev. So we saw a Japanese fight in the best 8. We saw Kawabata versus Daigo Saito, in which Kawabata won. And we also, so now we're going to see a Russia versus Russia battle in the semi-final on one half of the sheet. So we have on the left side of the semi-final sheet, Masashi Yokoi in the S15 Sylvia versus Masato Kawabata in the GTR. And the winner of that will go up against the winner of the next fight, Tsargratsev versus Gotcha. So that means at least one Russian is guaranteed third place today. So it'll be interesting to see what happens after that fight. So we're going to be moving on to the semi-final now. Yokoi versus Kawabata. This is going to be a good one. Kawabata already taking out Daigo Saito in the best 8. But it's also going to be great to see again. We saw it yesterday. Tsargratsev versus Gotcha. A battle there before for third place. So now they're battling to get into the final. So we're going to see these guys again. And to be honest, I think they were the most interesting fight in yesterday's battle out of all the battles that battle for third place. All right, so I think the track should be cleared up fairly shortly. Actually, let's we've got our cleanup crew out there. We should probably go and have a look at them. So let's cut back to the camera out front and have a look at the our cleanup crew in action. Let's cut back to the camera. Let's crack. There we go. There's our cleanup crew out there on the track, working hard. So you've got their brooms and their high visibility. You know, it's all about safety here at the FIA.
All right,
so the track has been cleared up. We're just getting our recovery crew off the track. So of course, after that retirement, Gotcha does by Uri Bakshis. Gotcha does need to prove that his car can complete one run, so he's going to be doing a solo run here right now.
ここでどういう心境で走るんでしょうね。
ゴーチャ選手は、俺やりたかったなって多分すごい楽しんでたんでね、今日ね、走り終わった時の笑顔がね、ゴーチャのね、はい、なのでやっぱり本人的にはやっぱり次勝ち上がるためにも、やっぱりこう追走やって勝って。
So after Gotcha completes his solo run here, we'll be seeing the fight between Yokoi and Kawabata. It's going to be a good one. So all the Russians watching the stream, make sure you stay with us after the Yokoi Kawabata fight because we have Sadagratsev versus Gotcha. It's a great solo run there from Gotcha, getting a little bit of a applause from the crowd there.
さあそれでは以上をもちましてベスト8終了となります。続きましていよいよ準決勝セミファイナルベスト4を発表してまいりたいと思います。まずは Car number 12 from Japan Masashi Yokoi versus Car number 13 Masato Kawabata from Japan 日本人同士の対決となります。そして続きまして Car number 20 Arkady Saragratsev Arkasha from Russia versus car number 19 Georgy Chivushan Gocha from Russia.
So as you can see here, these are our two battles for the semi-final. Yokoi versus Kawabata and Sadagratsev versus Gocha. Or Arkasha versus Gocha, as I should say. Those are their nicknames we're using this weekend. Alright, so Yokoi.
Let's get ready for the semi-finals.
Battle Tournament Top 4.
実はタイヤは温めてるんですけど、この2人の戦いが結構なバトルになると2人は読んでます。によってタイヤをあまり減らさないようにタイヤをセーブしてますよね。はい。だからタイヤだけを今温めてる状態でタイヤの一番美味しいところを使わないように、もしかしたらワンモアタイムになる可能性もあるので、タイヤのセーブを考えてウォームアップを最低限で今抑えてましたよね。なるほど。はい。はい。そうですね。これ多分2人ともね無理しないというか派手に動作してないので、これ完全にタイヤのセーブに入ってますよね。はい。はい。実はこういうところからねバチバチなんですよ。ドライバー同士。
なるほど。もう心理戦から始まって。
そうですそうです。はい。すごい質問だね。
なんかどういう心境なのかなと思って戦って。
まあ健闘をたたえ合うんでしょう。さあそれでは参りましょう。セミファイナル Here we go.
Car number 12 from Japan, Masashi Yokoi versus from Japan, car number 13, Masato Kawabata.
3, 2, 1, go!
All right, here comes our first fight of the semi-final. Yokoi versus Kawabata. Yokoi in the lead, Kawabata following. Well, let's watch the replay here. That chase car, the GTR, it's a monster. It really is a Godzilla. Look at it catch up with Yokoi right here on the entry. Watch the smoke start to pour off the back as he accelerates to keep up with Yokoi. There we go. Putting it right where it needs to be. what makes this run so amazing in the chase position is he's really adjusting the car very easily. Look at that, dives right in at the last second. The beginning of Sector 3, and just sticks with the car. Big puff of flame out the back of the car. Flicks back here, 2JZ in the lead car, and VR38 V6 in the chase. Look at that. Kawabata using all the power he has. And there you have it. Wow, a 2-point advantage over Yokoi. That's definitely an understandable score. Kawabata was so close with Yokoi. It's not looking good for Yokoi. Yokoi known as one of the fastest guys out here this weekend. Yokoi's going to have to do everything he can to keep up with Kawabata in the lead. Another amazing display of drifting here at Odaiba at the FIA Intercontinental Drifting Cup. Valiant effort from Yokoi here, but look at this. Look at the front car. Just pull away. It looks like they may have somehow turned the power up on the car in the front. The GTR suddenly seems to have about 100 more horsepower than it did before. It's not usual for any of the guys out here in this field to leave Yokoi as far back as he did. And Yokoi kind of straight lining there, doing his best to try and dive in around Sector 5. He does a great job. This is a great final part of the track. And an even score. Wow, great effort from Yokoi to get an even score there. But Masato Kawabata in the GTR winning that battle. He'll be going on to the final.
川端さん、一緒に走ることは何回もあると思うけど、今回の走りのプランは何でしたか？
思いっきりやっつける。
かっこいい。ありがとうございました。思いっきりやっつけるって。最高のエントビレさん。
というわけでですね、決勝へと駒を進めました川端選手。ねえ、日本人対決。
圧倒的でしたね。
はい。
今回はもう本当に川端選手はもう圧倒的に、無理をせず、横井選手から無理をして、はい、行きましたね。
横井選手この後3位決定戦が残ってますからね、また、どんな戦いを見せてくれるか楽しみにしたいと思います。さあ続きまして、セミファイナルここからはロシア人同士の対決となります。これもね、昨日の因縁を
そうですね、
まんま持ってきた感じですけども。
乗れてるといえばアルカーシャ選手なんですけど、ゴーチャ選手はやっぱりスピードを持ってますね。昨日の悔しさ。
All right, so amazing battle there between Yokoi and Kawabata. Unfortunately for Yokoi, Kawabata taking the win there. He'll be going up in the final against one of the two Russians who are here this weekend. Got to say, the Russians have been doing amazingly all weekend, really bringing the heat yesterday and today. So here's how it's going to look. The final is going to be Japan versus Russia, and the third place battle is also going to be Japan versus Russia. So at least one of the two Russians, Tsaragratsev or Gocha, will be getting one of them will be getting a third place trophy on the podium, depending on who they come up against. So whoever wins this next battle between Tsaragratsev and Chivichan will go into the final. I'm sorry I'm saying his name wrong probably. We'll be going up into the final against Kawabata in the GTR. That's going to be an amazing fight. You never know. Both these guys, I think, have a chance. Of course, Tsaragratsev's or Akasha's R34, a lot of power, a lot of grip, really drives that car well. It's not the smallest or lightest car, but really, really handles it well, especially in battles. And of course, Gocha, we've seen him use the maneuverability and lightweight of his it's only 4-cylinder, SR20 powered turbo S15 Silvia uses the maneuverability of that car really, really well when chasing bigger, heavier opponents, for example, a GTR. So it'll be interesting to see who gets through and what sort of strategies they use in their fights. But before that, it is countrymen versus countrymen, both sons of Mother Russia. Going into this next fight, be interesting to see who's going to win that. Okay, let's go back to the main camera and watch this fight.
持ってかれそうなところありますね、この
はい
重力にというか。
ただそれを多分アクセルワークで、前に逃がしてるんですよね。はい。
さあそれではですね、準決勝セミファイナル行ってみたいと思います。Battle Tournament, here we go! はい、先走ってしまいましたね、私ね。
でもウォーミングアップ入りますね。
はい、ウォーミングアップ入ります。
そうですね。
ゴーチャもいいですよ。
ゴーチャ選手はちょっと派手めにいきましたが、アルカーシャ選手はやっぱりタイヤセーブしてますね。ちょっとウォーミングアップを軽めにして、グリップだけ確認をして、それ以上タイヤを減らさないようにと。はい。ゴーチャ選手は車が軽いので、ちょっと多めにウォーミングアップしてもタイヤ減らないので、はい。ちょっとこの辺はウォーミングアップから、ちょっと考え方が違いますね。やっぱりアルカーシャ選手は車が重いので、タイヤがすごい、ウェイトを占めるんですね、勝ち負け、なのでやっぱりタイヤのいいところを使いたいので、やっぱり残してますね。はい、
さあね、2人のチャンピオン、ロシアチャンピオンの戦いとなります。
そうですね。はい。
さあそれでは
ゴーチャが人気らしいですよ。
Here we go with the semifinals.
Let's go with our next battle in the semi-final. Russia versus Russia. Arkady Tsargradze versus Georgi Chivchan. Arkasha versus Gotcha. This is to get into the final. We have an all-Russian semi-final here. Let's go.
2, 1, go!
Tsargradze in the lead. Wow, once again an amazing run from both these guys, almost looking like a display run between these two. Look at this, chase car Gotcha just keeping it perfectly positioned against Arkasha's skyline. Arkasha pulling ahead slightly here, Gotcha tucking it in, pulling up against his door once again. This is going to be another high-scored run for both of these cars. Once again, a repeat of last night's third-place battle. Amazing battle between the two Russians here at Odaiba. And over the finish line. Said it before and I say it again, the photographers here this weekend, trackside photographers, are getting some amazing shots.
さあということですね。まず、この準決勝ロシア人対決、1本目果たしてどんな結果になるんでしょうかね。さあ出ました。減点がありましたね。アルカーシャにマイナス1ということで、ゴーチャが
We have a -1 penalty to Arkasha. Look at that, Gotcha, a 10 score.
入り口で、セクター1に入る前の1つ目のコーナーのところでインカットをアルカシ選手がしてしまったらしくて、もったいないですね。
いやー、これゴーチャでも大きくリードして、
So apparently we have a -1 penalty for a course cut. Arakasha in the lead there, cutting the course that is not allowed for the lead car. Dropping one wheel off the edge of the track, apparently. So Arakasha with the disadvantage this time. Gotcha in the lead, also with the advantage, a 10 score. And yet another amazing run, getting a big round of applause from the audience here at Odaiba.
セクター2のゴーチャがどんどんコーナーを曲がるに従って角度が増えてく
The
る
chase position there, the skyline
同じようにちょっと角
of
度が
Arakasha doing his best to keep up with the lead car. But Gotcha using
同じ距離感なんですよ
all the power of his SR20 to stay out there. Watch this flick here. Tap of the brakes to rotate the car around. Both of them doing a great job. But that 10 in the first run from Gotcha, that's a big gap for Arakasha to get over.
3を取りに来たような気がしますね
It might be just a little bit too little too late for the skyline of Tsarugradzev. But either way, a Russian is going to win this battle and go through to the final. But that chase run, okay, this is interesting. The chase run of Arakasha, 11.5. And the result is close enough. We're going to run these cars again.
One more time! One more time! はいさあ
ついに来ましたね
来ましたねこれね
もう一回見たかったんですよ、やっぱりもうこの2人の戦いは、勝負というよりももうなんだろうな芸術を見てる
All right, because we are into the semi-final now, we don't revert to using the lead run scores to determine the winner. From the semi-final onwards, if the overall score is even for the battle, like we just saw there, it was 19-19, that means we do run the battle one more time. So we are going to see these guys run again to see who can get through to the final up against Kawabata. So once again, an amazing performance all weekend. Absolute fire from both of the Russian drivers here all weekend.
熊久保さん、
気になる映像が今飛び込んでます。はいはい。
ちょっと質問あります。
Okay, Greg, what's up?
お客さん楽しんでるかな？
お客さん楽しんでますか？ This one's from Greg. How's everybody doing out there?
Always time for a selfie.
Yeah, looks like they're having a good time.
やっぱ楽しんでるんだね。
はい、皆さん釣ってますよ。How you doing? All right. Yay.
いい答えだったね。
Okay, 皆さん釣ってますよ。Woo! さあ、グレッグどう思う？ What do you think, Greg?
いやー、ロシア暑いですね。
ロシアが暑いと。はい。
もうやばいよ。さっき見たら。
So we're going to see a one more time battle between the two Russians. So you would have seen earlier today, we did have some times where the score was even for both of the drivers, but it was the winner was determined by who had the better lead run. Well, that's only up until the semi-final. From the semi-final onwards, if the score is even for both of the drivers, we don't decide it on who had the better lead run. We just run the battle again, which is honestly how it should be. So everybody wins in this case. Apart from the two drivers, of course, they're going to have to do battle one more time. But that means we get to watch these two warriors, absolute warriors from Russia, go head-to-head one more time here at the FIA IDC at Odaiba. So just a very quick preparations for the cars, getting ready for this next battle. We're going to start it very shortly. So the winner of this will go up against Masato Kawabata in the final. And the loser of this battle will go up against Masashi Yokoi for third place. So either way, we're guaranteed at least one Russian on the podium here today. So looking forward to seeing this battle go ahead once again between Taragradzev, or Arkasha, and Gocha. It's going to be insane. It's going to be fire. I'm looking forward to seeing this again. And then in the final, one of them is going up against the monster GTR of Kawabata in the final too. So the FIA Intercontinental Drifting Cup bringing entertainment to the absolute maximum here. I'm thoroughly enjoying this. So I think we're about to head back out. So let's, actually there's some preparations going on down in the pits. There might be something going on. Let's cut back to the main camera and have a look at what's going on down in the pit area. Okay, so we have Arcady's car there. Seems to be ready to go. So Arkasha's car heading over to the start line. Gocha still running some last second splash of water over the radiator to cool it down. Of course, cooling is a big issue with these cars. So the first one more time battle we've seen so far this weekend in leg 1 and leg 2 of the FIA IDC Intercontinental Drifting Cup.
この後タイヤ交換しましたので、ちょっと、ショートコースで、タイヤのウォームアップを行ってすぐスタートになりますね。はい。はい。もうタイヤ温めてますね。もうね、フロントタイヤはもう一度走って温まってますので、リアの交換したタイヤだけ、タイヤを、温めて、皮抜きをして温めている状態ですね。
いやー、またね、ちょっと熱い戦いがね、期待してしまうんですけれども、
ただね、ちょっとね、このタイヤ交換をして、この気温、ちょっと気温が下がってます、でちょっとウォームアップする場所が短いので、ちょっと、コース上はどんどん冷えてきてますから、この1本目の、このセクター1から2に関しては、ちょっとね、ドライバー的にはヒヤッとする部分があると思うんですよね。
グリップがちょっと変わってしまうんでしょうかね。さあ、それでは参りましょう。
Car number 20 from Russia, Arkady Sarigurasev Arkasha versus Russia. Car number 19, George Chivchan Gocha.
3, 2, 1, go!
Here we go, the one more time battle between the two Russian competitors. Once again, filling the entire arena with smoke, these two. Look at this entry here, both of them very aggressive on the entry. Gocha in the chase position, silhouetting the lead car right there. Great positioning in the chase position there from Gocha. And watch them as they set up their cars. Both of them bringing the rear end. Wow, very aggressive chase run from Gocha. You can see there he brought the rear of his car around before Arkasha did. You see pops and flames coming out of the wastegate dumps from underneath Gocha's car. And once again, great shot there of these two warriors coming over the finish line. Wow, the battle between these two, amazing.
追走しましたね。
And Gotcha in the chase position. Yeah, wow. 10.5.
アドバンテージはまずゴーチャが取りました。
これアルカーシャも 8.5 ですから、やっぱ98点台乗せてますね。
Absolutely tucked in there behind the skyline for that entire run. And like I said before, like that, exactly like that shot we saw there. Gotcha flicking the rear of his car around before Arkasha did into the hairpin at sector 3. That's the sort of driving that's going to win in this.
その美しさを持ってますよね、アルカーシャはね。はい。
ここで2
ゴーチャはね、
以上の差を
つけるとね、アルカーシャはちょっとゴーチャはちょっとアグレッシブさが出てきましたよね。はい。
すごい戦いですね、これは。はい。
Ready, go!
Right, second run now. Lead car. Lead car with the advantage. 10.5. A bit of collision on the wall there for Gotcha's car. Wow, obviously a lot of respect between these two drivers. Amazing that they've kept it perfectly clean this whole time. Once again, shadowing the lead car there. Arkasha doing a great job. And watch this, watch the lead car, the yellow car's rear wing. Watch the wing as he flicks it around into the hairpin, right about here. Right there. It's knocked off on one of the barriers.
アルカーシャここで全然動じないんですよ。はいはい。なんかあったのっていうぐらいの勢いで、はい。
The rear wing goes flying.
でこの後はもうアルカーシャはもうぴったりついていきますよね。はい。でゴーチャ選手ももう完全に乗れてるので、スピードも出てるので、モールに当たったぐらいでは車が
As there's 15's
微動だにしない。はい。ただやっぱりこれがジャッジとなると
boot lid flapping around there.
ウォールに当たってまあウィングがね取れるほどウォールに当たってますんで。
So obviously Gotcha doesn't need a wing to drift well.
コースアウトの判定になる可能性があります。
Leaving Arkasha back there. I think the result from this is going to be fairly obvious. Gotcha in the yellow NGK. But remember, he did hit the wall there.
さあ結果が出ました。変わりそうでしょうか。
So a -1 penalty being applied to Gotcha. A 10 in the chase run for Arcady. That means Arcady in the R34. Moving on to the final. He's going to be going up against Kawabata. Guaranteed podium. At least second place for Arcady here.
Strong battle. What was your game plan?
And our plan is go to the first place. You know? And nothing to lose. Nothing to lose. Yeah.
もういつ取ることしか考えてないから全開行くしかないって。
Yeah! Woo! Alright, また決勝で熱い戦いを楽しみにしています。見事ね、セミファイナル勝ち抜きましたアルカーシャ選手に大きな拍手をお願いします。Give it up for Arcady! さあ、ロシア人対決を制したのはアルカーシャ選手。この後決勝戦でですね、川端選手と当たるわけですけども、まあその前に3位決定戦も、
これもう一回ゴーチャ見れるんですよね。
はい、そうです。
もう一回ゴーチャが見れるのが嬉しいじゃないですか。はい。で、対するのが横井選手。まあこれは横井選手はね、日本のもう追走では強肩と言われてますから、この横井選手の食いつきと、
あれグレッグ何してんだよ。
グレッグがジャックナイフの
ジャックナイファーに
これ
乗り込んで
ジャックナイフの後ろに乗るんですか？
後ろに乗るの？だいぶ遠心力だよ。大丈夫
？All right, so our final two battles look as follows. We have Kawabata in the GTR versus Sadagratsev in the Nissan Skyline. That's for the final. And our third place battle, it's going to be Gotcha versus Yokoi. So if you thought the action was over, you are dead wrong. We have two more amazing battles to go here today for the winner and for third place. It's going to be amazing. And apparently our cleaning crew is heading out just now once again, making sure the track is clear for the rest of the competitions. And they're also taking out, they've got a new member of staff to go out with them today as well. So let's go back out there to the course and watch our cleaning crew at work.
それきつそう今イメージしたら、はい、
お尻が痛いと思うんですよね。
うわーちょっとグレッグ大丈夫？ちょっと緊張してない？大丈夫？
Hello!
Hi, Greg.
Greg です。
Greg, you look a bit nervous.
今、なんか後悔しそうようなことはしそうけど、ちょっとジャックナイフの経験初めて。
All right.
いきますか？
もう完全にね、見てる方もドキドキするけど。はい、さあということで、ジャックナイファーに乗り込んだグレッグ、リポートよろしく。
Yeah. いや、ハズは
お母さ
んできるのかな。
はい。さあ皆さん、グレッグ大きな拍手でお迎えください。グレッグ on the jackknifer。持ち上がんないじゃん、車体が重そうきて。
ちょっと体重が、俺の体重が。
あれあれいかないぞ、持ち上がんないぞ。めっちゃ揺らされてる。
今ブレーキ温めてますよね。はい、お、加速しましたよ。
加速して、
ちょっとしか
あれ
楽しい
さあそしてバズーカーでね、プレゼントの方も飛ばしてます。プレゼント欲しいという方はどんどん手を振ってねアピールしていただきたいと思います。はい、スペシャルプレゼントそっちのスタンドの方にも送ってください。バズーカー、あれ
加速しましたよ。
上がったどっこいしょ。大丈夫グレッグ？大丈夫？背骨飛び出してない？
最高
最高かよ。
あー痛い
痛いだろ
う。上がるんですね。
ねえそしていなくなっちゃいました。はい、ジャックナイファー、そしてグレッグに大きな拍手お願いします。ありがとうございました。さあそしてバズーカを持ったスタッフがね走り回ってますけども、まだプレゼントあるんでしょうか。お、プレゼントいきましたね。はい、さあプレゼントを装填しましたよ。いきますよ、バズーカいくぞ。ブーン、飛んだのかな。お、飛んだ。はい、フードコートの方に。はい、はい、さあじゃあここですね、ちょっとなんとお客さんのインタビューができるということなので、はい、聞いてみたいと思います。マイクを持ったスタッフがねお客さんのところに行くと思いますけれども、はい。Okay, we're going to do some interviews with our guests back there. We're supposed to see some staff having a microphone, but どうなんでしょうかね。Oh, there you go. All right, so how's it going?
Very nice.
All right, what do you think so far?
I think our guys made a great job here.
Okay, where are you from?
From Russia, of course.
From Russia, of course, yeah. From Arcadie's country, Gocha's country. All right.
応援団が来てますからね。
Okay, so you come just for this to Japan? これだけですか、日本に来た理由は。
Yes, of course.
このために。Okay. How many days do you stay? 何日泊まります？
Only for 1 week.
1週間 For the, oh wow. Is this drifting becoming big in Russia? ロシアでのドリフティングはどうですか？
I think you've seen it yourself.
All right.
How drifting is in Russia.
はい、皆さんねご覧の通り、ロシアでもねドリフティング盛り上がってますよと、いうことですね。All right, thank you guys.
Гоша, Аркаша, давай!
All right. Woo! Okay, so let's hand over the mic to someone else. Let's go do some more interviews here. さあね、はい、インタビューの無茶ぶりでございます。 はい、スタンドの方今スタッフが一生懸命ですねインタビュー答えてくださる方を、探しておりますけども、皆さんぜひね参加していただきたいと思います。さあインタビュー答えてくれるんでしょうか。はい、もうマイクを持ったスタッフがですね、いかんせん日本人でちょっと控え気味なんですけども、皆さんぜひね、インタビューの方ご協力いただきたいと思います。さあ、皆さん、これ日本の方でしょうかね。こんにちは、いかがですか。
こんにちは。
こんにちは。
Where are you from? May I ask where are you from?
I'm Sky from New Zealand.
From New Zealand. ニュージーランドからいらっしゃいました。All right. You guys look like a team.
Yes, we are.
All right.
Turf Academy team.
Oh, the
Turf Academy. So we are learning from Kuma-san.
Oh, Kuma-san. So Kuma-san のお弟子さんなんですね。
そういうことだ。
Can you guys, like the whole team, stand up, please, for a second?
Yeah.
All right. Aye.
すごい、クマ
熊
さん
さん。すごいです。Do you have anything to say to Kuma-san? Oh, actually, I think we're going back to the race right now. Starting to warm up here for the finals. Okay, thank you so much for the interview.
Thank you guys.
さあ、というわけでですね。
3位決定戦が入りますね。
はい、3位決定戦。
準備ができました。
So let's see who's going to win third place. Saあ、ゴーチャの車もですね、だいぶボコボコ加減がですね、
ガムテープがすごい増えてますよね。
目につきますけども、さあ、ここは横井選手、そしてゴーチャ選手の戦いとなります。日露の、戦いで3位決定戦となりますね。And now, ladies and gentlemen, FIA Intercontinental Drifting Cup Battle Tournament 3位決定戦です。
Car number 12 from Japan, Masashi Yokoi versus from Russia, car number 19, Gocha!
3, 2, 1, go!
Okay, comes our third place battle. We have Gocha versus Yokoi.
So let's do this one more time. Saあ、同時にスタートしました。このバット取りが。
What a big straight in there from Yokoi. All right, so watch this. Watch the lead car, Yokoi, right about here. Straightens a bit. Gocha. Bit of collision there. Gocha, all four brakes, all four wheels locked up. And straightens up again now. That's interesting. Who will be determined to be at fault there? Obviously, Yokoi making a big mistake on a critical part of the track. Remember, we saw these two guys go up against each other yesterday. Yokoi and Gocha, it's their second time going to battle this weekend. We had an incident in their first battle as well. But this time it seems like Yokoi is the one who's causing the incident.
セクター1の入り口のところで、ちょっとゴーチャ選手が、横井選手に追突をしてるんですね。左側のバンパーが、ちょっと割れてたと思うんですけど、それがね、ちょっと破片が飛んだので、その辺がジャッジは多分見てると思いますので、まあ、この辺が、足して引いてどうなるか。
数字として現れるのかというところですね。
このね、手前でもう、
Let's watch this replay one more time. Watch the lead car, Yokoi right about here, you can see him straighten out. You see, it's quite easy to see the car change its angle, whereas Gotcha is still at full angle here. So front wheels lock up, rear wheels lock up on Gotcha's car. Sliding out. There's not much he can do here, except try to avoid collision as best as possible.
でちょっとこちらから見るとゴーチャの方がこう出遅れたかなという印象があったんですけれども、
ちょっとこれは違うみたいですね。
横井選手の方に金
はい、ちょっとミスがあって、はい。ただそれにそこで言えばね、圧倒的にゴーチャ選手が有利になるんですけども、その手前でスタートして直後に接触があったように見えたので、それがジャッジの方でどう減点があるかどうか。
さあ3位決定戦。横井選手、そしてゴーチャ選手の戦い。
And then we have the result there. So a 7 to Gotcha, 5.5. So obviously that incident there, Yokoi having points taken away from him. So Gotcha, a great position here to get third place. So if that happens, we're going to see 2 Russians on the podium here today. Gotcha, great position. He's in right here, 7 to 5.5. So this time Gotcha in the lead. Yokoi is going to do everything he can to win. Once again, another great battle between these two. Look at this, Yokoi taking a tactical entry here as fast as possible, tucking in on the left side of Gotcha, taking that inside line, doing everything he can to get on Gotcha's door, and now he's going to stay there for the rest of this run. Look how close these two are. Yokoi and Gotcha's car slowly becoming more and more battle damaged over the weekend. After multiple collisions. A lot of damage on Gotcha's car there. So many close fights, bare knuckle fights he's been in. But is this the knockout blow here, Yokoi? He's been right on Gotcha's door for the entire run since that first corner. But Gotcha with the 7 advantage to Yokoi's 5.5. Could it potentially go the other way? Are we going to see an even score? Yokoi could potentially win this. There's a slim chance, but it could happen. Yokoi's run was absolutely amazing, but that big mistake in that first run, taking a lot of points away from Yokoi. All right, so we're about to get the results back from the EDS. And an even score. Yokoi, a 10 on Yokoi's chase. And we both saw that run. Yokoi from the first corner to the last corner was no more than a meter away from Gotcha's door. So a 15.5 even score between these two. We're going to see Gotcha and Yokoi run one more time here at Odaiba.
車体大丈夫ですかね。かなりもう継ぎはぎだらけになってましたけど。ガムテープみたいですね。さあどうだったでしょうかね。はい。ゴーチャ選手。
See there, Gotcha. He has to battle one more time for third place.
2日間のもう心なしかこう声を荒げてるんではないかというようなね厳しい表情を見せていますけども。
選手とするとね、もうこの約2、30秒あるじゃないですか、もしかしたらね、息してないんじゃないかなっていう感じなんですよね、多分息を止めて、走ってる可能性もあるんで、かなりね、体力が消耗しますよね。 助手席から降りましたよね。
はい。
もしかしたらさっき横井選手に接触をセクター2でしてて、ドアが開かないんじゃないですか。
ああ、なるほど、
はい、
さっきちょっとへこんでましたもんね、
はい、
確かに。
運転席のドアが開かないのかもしれませんよね。
さあ、果たして、ワンモアタイムになるんでしょうか。
はい、ワンモアタイムですね。で、あとはそのタイヤ交換だったり、この後どうやって攻めるか。もしかしたらそのタイヤが、新品タイヤが残ってない可能性もあるんですよね。
そんなことがあるんですね。
はい、
相当厳しい表情になってますけれども、
ちょっとね、タイヤがないのか、なんかアルカーシャも相談してますよね。はい
もう何をどんなコミュニケーションなんでしょうかね、今のは。
バチバチではないんですね、やっぱりね。
バチバチじゃないですね。
仲良し。
はい、仲良しですね。
どうするみたいな、
はい、
俺ら
どうしたらいいかな、タイヤ
どうしようって感じね。
熊久保さん、
はい、
OK、Greg, what's up?
ちょっとインタビューしようと思ったけど、ちょっとこの雰囲気じゃないんですよね。
確かに、確かに。
まあちょっっと離れて見ときますわ。
どんな様子ですか？
はあ、アルカシはね、この後決勝を控えてるんで、
ですよね。集中力はやっぱ半端ない。
そうですね。
ピリピリしてるね。
ニュータイヤがあるのか、
はい、
はい、ちょっとタイヤが映んないんで、
今、アルカシャ選手のね、はい、もう整備してますけどもね、
タイヤをまだ組んでないので、もしかしたらタイヤを組み替えに出してて、まだタイヤが来ないんじゃないですか、もしかして、ニュータイヤが。はい、まだ車にタイヤを装着してないんですよね。でそれが多分メカニックがその前の戦いの時に使ったタイヤをもうすでにタイヤ交換に新品タイヤの入れ替えに行ってつけてますね。これニューなんですか。僕ちゃん自分でやってます。
自分でやってますね。
これニュータイヤですね。
はいはい。
お、ニュータイヤ、あれニュータイヤを一回外してまた付け替えてますよね。あれ、
はい、一体どんなコミュニケーションが今なされているのか。
はい、ニュータイヤじゃなくて、具合のいい中古タイヤで、行った方がフィーリングがいいのか、それともニュータイヤでも何か、例えばホイールサイズが違って、入れ替えてしまったのか、ホイールサイズが違うと、タイヤのグリップする面が変わりますんで、ちょっとその辺が何か不具合があったのか。
やっぱり反対側から乗り込んでますね。
そうですね。
これ
運転席が開かないですね。ドアが開かないですね。はい。
さあ、そして、横井選手の方はどんな状態なんでしょうか。さっきヘッドライトがね、もう片方いっちゃってましたね。横井選手も。
横井選手は多分落ち着いてると思うので、こういう場は慣れてますし、はい。まあ、あとメカニックがね、今の気温だったりこういう状況でエアはこのぐらいセットすればいいっていうのは大体分かってますから、でここで最終的にドライバーと、メカで、確認をして、さあどうする。これ映像を見てるんじゃないですか、さっきの追走の。もしかしたら違うかな。でそれを見てゴーチャ選手がどの辺を通るかとか、どうやって入ってきてるかっていうのを確認して、もう一回頭の中でね、走りを整理して、動画を
携帯で撮って、
そうですね、多分メカニックが、動画を撮っといて、モニターの映像を撮っといて、それを今横井選手に見せて、ゴーチャ選手こういうラインでこうやって走ってたよと。
じゃさっきのアルカーシャさんもずっと携帯見てたのって、次に
もしかしたら次の備えて
もう走りをチェックしてるって相手の
川端選手の走りをチェックしたのかもしれませんよね。
かなり熱心に見られて
そうですね、はい。
今って携帯なんですね。
そうですね。はい、もう横井選手はもう大体もう準備が整ってますね。はい。
さあ準備万端。もうタイムということで、
両者も準備ができましたね。多分両者、ニュータイヤだと思いますので、タイヤのウォームアップは入ると思います。はい。
けど、
はい
風っていうのはそのカーレースには影響するんですか？
そんなに影響しないですね。はい。
まあ、ドリフトの場合はやはりこの温度の方ですかね、気温とか。
そうですね、気温とかやっぱ路面温度っていうのは、
路面温度
はい、大きく出ますよね。
さあ、両者位置につきます。ワンモアタイムとなりました、サードプレイスマッチ。
Right, so after that short break, to give these two competitors a chance to sort their cars out, change their tires, make sure they're all okay for the battle they're about to do. We're going to see this one more time, third place battle.
今 ETS のチェック入っております。やはり今回はこの導入が
Between Gotcha and Yokoi.
そうですね。まあこれもね、ゴーチャ選手もたくさん走ってますので、いろんな振動が出てますんでね。
はい、ゴーチャが手振ってます。Alright, ゴーチャ、good luck。
なんか笑顔の中に闘志メラメラのはい感じでしたよね。
はい。譲る気は全くないぞと。
ないですね。
さあ、そして横井選手、どんな表情を見せるんでしょうか。もう一点集中してますね。
完璧に横井選手は集中して、はい、自分の通る場所を確認してますよね。はい。
さあ、ゴーチャ選手再び、ポジションにつきます。
ゴーチャ選手はここで位置取りをしっかり。
はい。はい。さあ、それでは参りましょう。ワンモアタイム出ましたが、third place match. Here we go.
Car number 12 from Japan, Masashi Yokoi versus from Russia, car number 19, Gocha!
3, 2, 1, go!
Here comes the one more time battle for third place, Gotcha versus Yokoi. Once again, another amazingly close battle between these two. Yokoi already hard on the accelerator, setting his car up to flick it round. Look at that flick on Yokoi's car at full angle, almost immediately. Your chase car Gotcha just struggling a bit there to try and catch up with Yokoi. Lacking a lot of angle. Gotcha's car really low angle on that S15 Silvia. 2JZ in the lead, SR20 engine in the background, but seemingly very evenly matched these cars.
ちょっと変な動きをしてたんだ。ちょっとペテンしてクッキー入れるか交換するか。はい。今そのやり最中、分かったらすぐまたリポートします。
Okay.
So Gotcha, quite a few mistakes for him there, but still very close to Yokoi for the entire run. Great effort.
ビートってね、タイヤとホイールのところの、これですね。ホイールからタイヤが外れてしまう状態ですよね。このタイヤだと多分横井選手のタイヤです。はい。このタイヤははい難関タイヤなので横井選手のところですね。はい。横井選手なのでこれ多分エアをここで入れて。はい。
So Yokoi's car looking like it's
感じですかね。はい。
may have knocked the beat off slightly, losing a bit of air pressure. Of course, they do get a chance between runs to adjust their air pressure. Of course, he can't change tyres between runs. So if the tyre was debeated completely, could potentially get knocked out. But Yokoi refilling the tyres pressure. He has to get back to the start line as quickly as possible. Here he goes, so Yokoi. So we're going to see the result between these two. Still a very close run. But Yokoi,
all right,
not the greatest lead run. Gotcha with him, not the greatest angle on Gotcha's chase run, but still very close for the entire time. That may get him an advantage. Hopefully it's not another even score. We have at least one in front of the other. Of course, Gotcha in the back there, very close for the entire run. And a 6 to Gotcha in the chase position. Still very low score for both of them on that run. It wasn't a great run from either one.
Here we go.
Ready, go!
Oh, and a collision! Yokoi running into the side of Gotcha's car. It looks like this battle has been decided. Let's watch the replay here. It looked like, look at Yokoi. Yokoi with a 1-point disadvantage going into this. His Fury run right up against the door of Gotcha. Very aggressive from the chase position. But he watched the flick back here. Yokoi tucking into Gotcha, but making tire-to-tire contact, jumping up. See the front wheels there, forcing the steering to steer all the way to the left, throwing him off his line and straightening up. If Yokoi was only a few centimeters further back, that wouldn't have been a problem. But what happened there was Yokoi's front left tire came into contact with the front right tire of Gotcha's car. And obviously they're spinning in opposite directions. And that caused Yokoi's car to launch up in the air. So it looks like we may have two Russians on the podium here at the FIA IDC. Yesterday it was two Japanese drivers and a Russian. Today it looks like it's going to be two. We're still waiting for the official result between the battle of Yokoi and Gotcha for third place. Of course, straight after that we're going to go into the final between Kawabata and Saragratsev. There we have our two competitors for the third place battle, Yokoi and Gotcha. Of course, Gotcha in the first battle, a 6-5, already with an advantage. But in that run, Yokoi so close, but then colliding with Gotcha's car. Is that going to be determined to be an unforced error for Yokoi? And will he get a penalty? And he does. A -2 penalty to Yokoi for colliding. Oh, wow. See, that was such a close run for the entire run. Yokoi did actually get a 9.5 versus Gotcha's 8.5, but that little tire touch right at the end, launching Yokoi's car up in the air, losing him the drift. That would have been a win for Yokoi, but that penalty there, -2 points. 12.5 Yokoi, 14.5 Gotcha. Gotcha third place here today at leg 2 of the FIA IDC. So that means two Russians on the podium here today. But who is going to take first place? Kawabata or Saragratsev? Our first place battle coming up in only a few minutes.
happy 100%, but anyway, I'm happy.
Awesome job. 車があんま安定してないし、でみんながバランスが崩れた、それでも 100% いって頑張ったから、もう結果は出ましたね。
ほっとした表情してますね。
はい、ほっとしたね、急に優しい顔になりましたよね。
いやー、本当に
ピリピリでしたもんね。
さあ、もう車体はボコボコになってましたけどもね、本当に熱い走りを見せてくれましたゴーチャ選手が3位に入賞しました。さあ、そして、いよいよ決勝を迎えるわけですけども、ここで決勝戦を前にですね、決勝戦に臨むお二人のインタビュー、お届けしたいと思います。ではグレッグお願いします。はい。
Here we go. Okay. Katie-san. What exactly is your game plan for this run?
Look at my rear wheels. It's 19 straight 5.
大きいタイヤつけて思いっきり走っていく予定です。
はい。ね、アルカシタらしい走りを期待したいと思います。さあ、そして川端さんどうでしょうか。
はい、意気込みを。
いや、もう完全優勝でしょ
う。はい。
ナイス、頑張ってください。
はい、昨日に続きね、また、この追走優勝を決めたいところですよね。
アルカーシャ選手はもしかしたらこの決勝にタイヤをね、サイズを変えてきたみたいですね、
そうですね、今言ってましたね。
さっきまで18インチを使ったのが19インチのちょっと大きめな幅の広いタイヤに変えてきてるので、もっと要は川端選手に追いつくためにね、幅と外径を大きくして、車速が出るように、今タイヤを変えたと思います。ただね、テストしてるのかどうかですよね。
そうですよね。いきなり、
そのタイヤを使ったことあるのかどうかっていう。
じゃあその作戦が京都出るか、
そう吉と出るか京都出るか、もちろんね、多分そこまでしないと川端選手のスピードについていけないんじゃないかっていうところがあるので、そこはもう多分タイヤメーカーさんと話をした上でもう勝負に出たんじゃないかなと思いますね。
わかりました。
作戦をね、
はい。
練って
いや
決勝ですね。
いや、
ドキドキしますね。
緊張が走りますよね。
はい。ウォームアップ入ります。
さあ、両選手ウォーミングアップに入ります。いよいよこの後決勝を迎えます FIA Intercontinental Drifting Cup Battle Tournament.
All right, so here we are down to the final battle at the leg 2 of the FIA International Drifting Cup here in Tokyo. We have Kawabata in the GTR versus Sadagradzev from Russia. So we already have one Russian on the podium. In third place, Gotcha. Third place, who's going to be in first? Are we going to get a Russian in first place? Remember, Kawabata was the winner yesterday as well. He's already on a win streak. Can he take out Sadagradzev? On the other hand, though, Sadagradzev been brilliant all weekend so far. Really brought the fire all the way over from Russia here to Tokyo. Let's see I really have no idea what's going to happen. Let us know in the chat who you think is going to win. I think it's going to be fairly obvious if the Russians are going to be going for Sadagradzev. But we are about to start this next battle. They are lining up on the start line. All right, here we go. Let's cut back to the camera on the start line.
テストしてなければ
そうですね。
わからないですよ。なのでさすがにねこれはねなかなかやらないギャンブルだと思います。
どうなっちゃうんだろう。
さあね、それを決勝戦でまたね。
決勝戦だねこの場でね、使うってすごいですよね。
All right, ladies and gentlemen, FIA Intercontinental Drifting Cup Battle Tournament, the finals.
Car number 13 from Japan, Masato Kawabata versus car number 20 from Russia, Arukasha.
3, 2, 1, go!
Here we go, final battle here at Odaiba. Kawabata in the lead, Sadagradzev in the chase. Wow, the speed of the lead car there, Kawabata. This is one of the fastest cars here. He's running on huge Toyo tires, R888 semi-slicks. He's got a huge amount of power too. That full Trust Greddy engine. Sadegratsev has a lot of ground to make up here. And look at this, slowly being pulled away from. And the amount of angle there, look at the amount of angle on the GTR. It's not looking too good so far for Sadegratsev. Still a good chase run from Sadegratsev. Look at this, good angle. The GTR there, the headlights sort of winking at us. Wow, an amazing result, 8.5 for the chase car. So a disadvantage to Kawabata going into the chase. We've seen this before. We've seen this before with Kawabata. When he does his lead run, getting a lower score than we expected for some reason. We've got sparks flying, we've got dirt flying, rubber flying, flames popping. Look at the lead car there. Sparks flying out from the rear of Kawabata's car, but look at this, flames popping, but the lead car there. Go Rossia! Look at the GTR following right on the door of Arkady. But here we go, here's the important part of this course. Look at this, of this run. Right on the door there, Kawabata flicks the rear of his car around and hits the door of Sadegratsev's Skyline, knocking him offline. Kawabata tucking in over the inside. That is going to be a collision penalty, I'm going to say, for Kawabata. But once again, it was a collision right on the critical part of that corner. We've seen collisions before today which haven't resulted in a penalty, but that's been because they've been in the middle of a corner where the car is already stable. But on that run, that was right on the apex of that corner when Arkady's car was right in the middle of rotating around. And you see there Kumikuba having a bit of a talk about what he just saw. Kawabata's car hitting the door of Sadegratsev's Skyline. So let's watch this again. Who is at fault here? Watch the line these guys take. Sadegratsev, a middle line for the lead car. Nothing that would warrant needing to do that. But Kawabata, look how aggressive. He's almost 2 wheels off on the inside. There's not really any reason for him to do that there. Pushing Arkady off his line there, and Kawabata completing the run as he should, and also Arkady completing the run as he should as well. So this is going to go down to the judges to determine who gets what as far as penalties go. So we saw this yesterday in the run between Gocha and Yokoi. There was a collision on a critical part of the course which caused Yokoi to spin out. And that took quite a while to make that decision. Of course, we are here now in the finals. Kawabata versus Sadegratsev. Collision there. Kawabata, should he get a penalty? And then we have it, the winner your winner today, leg 2 of the FIA IDC, Russia, Arkady Tsarogradzev, taking the win over Kawabata, 11.5 to 10. Your winner is from Russia, Arkady Tsarogradzev. Congratulations, first place. Masato Kawabata, second place. And of course, Gotcha in third. We have 2 Russians on the podium here this weekend. So once again, just recapping that score. First run, 8 to Kawabata, 8.5 to Arkady, so he had the advantage. And then the second run, a 4 to Kawabata, a 3 to Arkady, but a -2 penalty being applied to Kawabata's overall score means that Arkady gets the win. He's your first place podium getter this weekend for leg 2 of the FIA IDC here in Tokyo. Amazing result yesterday. Even more amazing result today. Russian drifting showing its strength here on the world stage here in Japan for the first ever FIA IDC event here in Tokyo. Amazing result. All right, so there you have it, everybody watching on Facebook right now. We have about 1,000 people watching us right now. Congratulations, Russia. Your performance this weekend has been absolutely amazing with your 2 representatives, Tsarogradzev, Arkacha, and Gotcha. Amazing results, 2 days in a row, both of them right at the top of the field, powering their way through so many competitors from all around the world, and especially the very powerful local drivers, the Japanese drivers like Kawabata, Yokoi, Fujino, and so forth, taking them all out. We have 2 Russians on the podium here today. Absolutely amazing result. Is this a new beginning for a pushing forward of Russian drifting? If you weren't aware of them before, they're here, the Russians. Arkacha, their first place, RB31 powered Nissan Skyline GTT, taking out the R35 GTR of Kawabata. Of course, Kawabata yesterday, first place. Arkady yesterday, third place. This time the other way around. Amazing result. So here we have the final results here. So once again, it's an unbelievable result. All the Russians watching this must be absolutely ecstatic with the results of I know the Russians watching in the stands this weekend definitely are. We have quite a few people cheer. The loudest people cheering from the grandstands this weekend were definitely the Russian team. And when that result came up, wow, what a result for Arkady Tsarogradzev here. Of course, the cars there parked in the Parc Ferme area. Of course, this is the FIA. We have all the FIA rules we have to use this weekend. So once again, thank you for being with us here this weekend. My name is Alexi Smith, otherwise known as Noriero on YouTube. Check it out. I've got lots of great drifting videos from here in Japan. Thanks for being with us here this weekend for 2 full days of drifting action at the FIA IDC from Tokyo, the first ever round of drifting being held by the FIA. It was great to see. If you looked at the FIA homepage yesterday, it had the Formula One and then IDC drifting and then rallycross. I mean, drifting is now, it is a worldwide sport, practiced in so many countries around the world today. So many fans from all around the world watching us here today at the first ever IDC. So, future news, not too sure when the next round of IDC is going to be on. Of course, this was the first ever round. It's been very successful, I think, overall. Some great driving, especially from the Russians, the Russian invasion of Japan, taking home so many trophies. Of course, next weekend is the D1 Grand Prix event, also held here at Odaiba. They're going to be doing a live stream from that, run by the same people using the same. So if you've been watching with the EDC judging system, they use the same system in D1 Grand Prix, so you should be fairly familiar with that. All right, so we'll leave it there. Let's go back to the awards ceremony. So this is all from me today. My name has been Alexi Smith. Thank you for being with us here today, and I'll see you next time. Bye.